The Tennessee Titans are another one of those teams that I like to say has a lot of heart, right? They didn't have the best win-loss record, obviously. They had a lot of injuries and really just a lot of young starters. But even in their losses, for the most part, they showed heart. And, whether it was a win or a loss, they fought, right? There was a couple of really bad blowouts, but there was also some games where they won and came very close to winning against some really good teams. So you can't really fault them for really just trying, right? They tried. It's a weird team because it's sort of a rebuild, but they had a massive offseason. They had a huge one, right? They added Calvin Ridley, who's always been an above-average wide receiver. Not quite elite, even though he's shown elite flashes, but definitely above average. He's a good wide receiver without a doubt. Tony Pollard, hard to tell because Dallas' offensive line, even though it's not as good as the old Travis Frederick days, which is a long time ago now, but Dallas has almost always had a pretty damn good line. And that's not really the same here in Tennessee. But with Tony Pollard and already a pretty good Tyjae Spears, it's safe to say that this is no longer a single running back workforce. This is going to definitely be a split carry team, which should be even better. Because obviously Tyjae Spears showed that he is pretty damn good. And then Tony Pollard, if he's even close to where he was in 2022 at least, they could have a very good run game still. And obviously that's what Tennessee has for a long, long time prided themselves on. Derrick Henry, obviously a Baltimore Raven now, kind of up there in age. Probably could have still gotten another year out of him or two, but I don't hate them for getting younger. As far as wide receivers go, besides Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins kind of deflated that whole wide receivers come here to die argument. He had a really good season with Tennessee, and that was with multiple different quarterbacks, and he looks still pretty good. Treylon Burks, that did not work out. Let's just be honest. He's still here, but it does not work out. It's weird because he is, once again, just like a lot of these other players, he has shown flashes of being really good, but those flashes are so far in between. He just hasn't shown any consistency at all, and he's been off the field quite a bit as well. Will Levis, not a perfect debut for him, but obviously a lot of hope with him. There's a reason why they didn't draft a quarterback, because they believe in this man. Once again, it's going to be a lot of this with this Tennessee Titans team, especially with how young they are, showing flashes. Not all young, in fairness, but younger than they were in previous years. Showing flashes, right? Levis, some big-time throws, some big-time elite-level franchise quarterback-level plays. Okonkwo, he's always had potential, but once again, staying on the field's a problem. Offensive line, that left tackle spot was so bad last year. Latham, I think, is supposed to be a right tackle, but they have such a bad spot at that left tackle spot that, how can they not play him there, right? Skoronski, for the most part, was a positive. Cushenberry, center, he looks pretty good, so it's not bad. I don't think left side, if Latham is playing left tackle, is going to be a problem. Definitely could see some problems on the right side, but do you just want JC to play right tackle because he's going to be good there? That's really up to them, of course. A little bit better of a run blocker, which we know, but very good pass blocker as well. So, it was a great pick. It was the right pick, and they have to build up that offensive line. It is, without a doubt, especially that left tackle spot, the biggest problem in Tennessee, without a doubt. And it's crazy to think because, quarterback has been a little shaky for the last couple of years, but a lot of potential there with Levis. Defensively, it's a team that's definitely better against the run than the pass, which is why you bring in guys like L'Jarius Sneed and Chidobe Awuzie. Of course, Chidobe Awuzie better early on when he joined the Bengals than he was last year, but that potential is always still there. Roger McCreary is not bad either, and obviously L'Jarius Sneed was the big-ticket cornerback item. This is a team that should be absolutely set at cornerback for the foreseeable future. Defensive line, Sebastian Joseph Day, he was actually supposed to be kind of like the savior of the Chargers' run defense, and didn't really work out there. Not the best here, but the defense definitely not as good at stopping the pass as they were the run, which is why they put quite a bit of resources into the cornerback spot, adding L'Jarius Sneed and Chidobe Awuzie. Obviously, not really adding Sneed as much as trading for him, but paid him good money, and Chidobe Awuzie, not as good as he was when he first joined the Bengals, but that potential is always still there, and they could have one of the better cornerback groups in the league. Obviously, McCreary's great too, and that's it. That's where we stand. Interior of the defensive line, obviously Jeffrey Simmons is going to Simmon, and then Sebastian Joseph Day. He was supposed to be the savior of the Chargers, never was. This is kind of just like a bandage situation. And then Sweat, obviously there's some concerns with the whole weight and whatnot, but overall, he is a monster, and that's all that matters. He is a monster, and I would actually probably rate him higher than what he is rated there. I'd probably put him like 77 block shed, 73, 74 power move, but at the end of the day, I am going to honor these stats. Take another quick look real quick. But yeah, I mean, there's potential there, and obviously he should help this defend that run even better. The big question with this team, though, is who's going to be that guy getting to the quarterback? You know, Simmons is good, but they were hoping to get another guy that can get after the quarterback on the inside, but kind of got that with Sweat, sort of. I mean, he's better than you would think at that size, but looking at the outside linebackers, Landry, once again, another flash player. Arden Key, he's like one of the premier, like, rotational edge rushers. He's actually not bad at all. Inside linebackers, I know there's some people that love Gibbons. I know there's a lot of people that don't. So with Cedric Gray being their, not really a high draft pick, but a draft pick in this latest class, I'm going to put him at number 2, give us a chance to potentially dev him up with a Rookie of the Year award win. Looking really good. His ratings are actually insane here. Better than like any CPU-generated linebacker you're going to find. Kenneth Murray, of course, very fast. All potential once again. There's so much potential in this team rather than like proven. Amani Hooker, Molden, once upon a time, had all that potential. But yeah, I mean, looking at this team, they did better to, you know, in theory, on paper, to slow down the pass attack, which has definitely plagued them on defense. And, you know, they added another guy to make that run defense even better. So would I've loved to see them do a little bit more for the edge position? Probably, but it's one step at a time, and I think they had probably the biggest, like, starting point to upgrade offseason that really most teams had. Obviously, I would say the Bears are probably the number one because, you know, they got a quarterback that's always going to shoot up the list there, but definitely one of the top teams when it comes to an offseason that they had. So hoping we can see some dev ups, especially for Mr. Levis, maybe Hopkins. Obviously, he's aging, and going into the draft, we're definitely going to need some more offensive linemen. Definitely going to need edge rush, and we'll look at that safety position, but this is actually a pretty big sleeper team right now. It is, if Levis can improve on what he showed, once again, those flashes, those big-time plays, this is probably the biggest sleeper team in the league. I can't really think of one that is a bigger sleeper than this team. I don't see it. Maybe like the Vikings if J.J. McCarthy goes off, but yeah, I mean, it's a super sleeper. We'll see if they can actually play up to that potential, though. And if you enjoyed the video and you leave a like, maybe subscribe, I promise I'll limit my usage of the word potential. Man, has this word been used a lot. But once again, it feels so fitting with this Titans team. Like I said, they're a super sleeper, and that's the word that, you know, kind of correlates with a sleeper team, right? You know, you're a sleeper because the upside is high. Maybe I'll start using upside. I'll mix those words in. Also, while you're down there, maybe let me know what team you want to see next. Obviously, these 10-year rebuilds have been actually pretty fun. They've actually been, you know, they're really long to record, but they've actually been a lot more fun because the actual salary cap managing is actually a real thing. You know, normally when you do a 5-year rebuild, don't have to worry too much about the salary. Maybe a team that's already there, you know, you do like a Chiefs and Niners or something like that, but as far as like most rebuilds, you don't really have to worry about money until season 5 or 6, which by then, you know, the rebuild's basically over. And of course, they also had other draft picks, but realistically, round 5 or beyond, especially in Madden, especially early on, especially before the new game's even out, they aren't really going to matter, right? It's all potential. Like Jamel Dean early on in Madden, I mean, you could definitely tell he had that, 2500 XP. He had that potential because he was like a decently tall, fast corner. But 23 years old, I'm pretty sure, out the gate, and maybe 22, I don't know, and a really low overall. So obviously it really didn't matter too much for developing in a rebuild, but then he became pretty good, and, you know, he became, you know, he's actually like a usable player. So those 5th-round picks beyond, I mean, really anything past a 3rd-round pick is not really going to get much burn in Madden. You know, it's just, it is what it is. So I went with a different scheme because, you know, out with the old and with the new. And it's not going so well. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to tell you. It's not going super well, but we did kind of expect this to be a team that it could go either way, and I definitely did not expect it to go in the positive way this early on. So the wildcard round, definitely a really big turnaround on the season, but a very unlikely to make the playoffs as we finished 7-10. But the thing with that is we were actually like 0-7 to start the year, so a nice turnaround. It hurts the draft pick a little bit, but at least shows some progress, and obviously with a quarterback like Levis, such a low overall, such a low dev early on. I really need him to, do well. So if he did, which he didn't, that would help him out a lot. I ended up going with the Seattle offense because kind of felt like they had similar-ish players, right? Like they got 3 good wide receivers. They got a decent tight end, but not a great tight end. But yeah, I mean, the stats really didn't reflect that. But at the same time, outside of Ridley being this low, he'll definitely do better than that as long as he stays healthy. I kind of see this being the way things go. Maybe a little bit better in the run game as well, but yeah, I mean, that is kind of fitting. As far as defensively goes, Simmons was pretty good. Sebastian Joseph-Day was pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not very happy with these numbers. Obviously, Snead did well. Hopefully gets a dev up, but this is a wasted season. I mean, there really wasn't anyone that did well outside of, like, Hopkins. Everyone else was very mid and not even going to come close to a dev up. And that sucks, especially when you go 7-10 in the end. Your draft pick isn't even that high after all, and this was a pretty big season for us to try and develop early on, get a dev up for Levis, get a dev up for maybe Hopkins to keep him from regressing, and don't know if any of that happened. I really don't think it did. Ravens versus Cowboys. Is Derrick Henry going to win a ring the very first year he leaves this team? I mean, it's the Matthew Stafford story of the century. It's the Matthew running Stafford. I don't know what that means, but looking at the offense, no dev-ups, not even Hopkins. A bit of a drop-off in regression, actually. And then you look at defensively, not even Snead went up in dev. However, give it a chance. Hooker did go up in dev, so we at least did have somebody, but he's already 26 years old. Not our best work. Not our best work at all, and like I said, I kind of expected this. I would have expected Snead to go up in dev, though, and then there was a chance Hopkins did, but yeah, he didn't do enough, I guess. Offensive line sliders are at 170, 180, but not making the playoffs. You see the difference. I don't know what kind of like XP stats are like, or boosts are tied with playoffs, which they should be. You should be getting bonus for making the playoffs and winning games, but it's massive. We see it every time we do these rebuilds where, we're barely as good as another team, despite the fact that we've managed the team way better than anyone else because we just barely make the playoffs. So, going to give it another scheme change. Not going to completely throw the quarterback position out the window. I think we'll probably give Levis another season, but if there's someone there around our draft pick, I can't just deny it just for the sake of Levis getting another chance. But re-signings, I didn't really, sucks great, didn't go up in dev, but Gibbons still is not as good as him already. But we do have 108 mil. We have a lot of money to spend. If there's somebody here, Amari Cooper feels like a Titan, but obviously with the Calvin Ridley contract, unless we get rid of Hopkins, which is possible. I don't see why they would do it when he just had another 1,000-yard season, but it is possible. Amari Cooper, if we can do like a 2-year deal, I doubt he would do like a 2-year 50, but if we can get a 2-year 50 or something like that, I'd probably be willing to do it. I would probably give it a chance. As, Hopkins is definitely, not that Cooper's like that much younger. Hopkins is definitely near the end of the road here, if you will. And unfortunately, we do not get Amari Cooper, but we do get Micah Hyde on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal, improving that free safety position a little bit. Here we are in the draft with pick 13, a little bit later than I was hoping for, but I guess makes sense. We definitely need a pass rusher. There's a couple of options. I really would like someone like Bain or Scorton. I know they're a little bit, on the heavier side, but I really want one of those two guys. We could also go like Mykal Williams, 20 years old, very fast. So I think those are going to be like my 3 main dudes. Actually, Sawyer will be on that list. So 4 main dudes, and with Nolan also be an option, even though he's not edge. I think those are my 4 main dudes, and when we're down to just one of them, I'm going to make a trade up, or if we're lucky enough, we get a choice, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Either way, let's move on. So I have it on normal. They took a 7th round pick to move 1 spot, which I suppose, I'm thinking of this as like, that's really stupid, but let's say they have 3 guys on their list, no one else wants to trade up, that's like really close. Why not, right? Like if you have two plus guys you have that you don't know who you actually want, why wouldn't you take a 7th round pick? Like why wouldn't you? There's really no point to not do it. But for us, obviously it made a lot of sense because we really want a pass rusher, and that's what we're going to be getting here. He's 22 years old, but he's pretty damn athletic for the size, and with an A block shed and an A to C power move, I have to assume he's not off ball, or he is off ball and he's not... He's on ball. Words. B finesse obviously also helps that out, but I'm excited about him. I'm flubbing my words. Nick Scorton. who's normal dev. 84 speed, 86 excel. We're hoping for that upside, though. We move on to the second round. Of course, no third round because of the Legarius Sneed trade, unfortunately. Wait, Egbuka is still there. We have wide receivers still here. Huh? I kind of want Nick Harbor, though, because he is tall and fast. This team could really use like a beast like him. What about Nick Anderson? Didn't I scout him further? No. Nick Anderson, he's not the fastest. Kind of want Nick Harbor. We could also go super speed and go Zachariah Branch. Also want to make sure that we don't have any other like positions we really want. Like what do we got? Safeties are there. Don't think we even pull that off. O-line is needed, but this team just doesn't have many draft picks. And I think technically with Hopkins not even supposed to like be here right now, I think I'm going to go with a wide receiver. Do I go at Buka? He's definitely not projected to fall this far. I'm going to go Nick Harbor. Nick Harbor's going to be the guy. Tall and fast. That's all I ever want. And he's headed. Welcome to wide receiver 2 for now. And man, is it pain not having many draft picks. We have nothing left. Maybe we're owed a little bit more than this because, you know, it's technically the years before draft, but we're just going to play it how it lies. That's how we've done the rebuilds on the other sides, so it's only fair to do it that way. With this trade-up, though, I think we're going to end up going with a tackle Ursary, I believe that's how you say his name. There's some other options, like even though we know Slaughter's normal dev, he's still a really competent piece. Zach Rice, maybe we go to the 6th round if he's there. We trade up from next year, but I'm going to go with Ursary. Big, strong dude. New tackle, maybe? Normal dev, fun. And I'm going to end the draft there. I was going to trade up for a lineman, but I realized, you know, if these guys are going to be normal dev, which they're likely going to be, there's really no spot for them to replace anyone, right? Like, our center's fine. We got a new tackle right there, and even then, he might not even start. So, that is what it is. I'm hoping for a high overall for Scorton, though. 75, 73, 69. Only 3 draft picks, which, I mean, makes sense because we used 2 7th-round picks to make moves. Oh, he's good. He's really good. I feel like I've used this class before, and he was pretty decent, but I can't really remember. Either way, automatic starter, obviously. Too much high upside not to. And then Nick Harbor, a raw player, but obviously has all the catching traits. He's 20 years old. He's super fast. He's tall. He's literally the perfect Madden prospect. I mean, I can't really hate on him. And then Ursary, who is only a 69 overall, is definitely not a draft pick I would make again. It really sucks because, you know, usually the user-created classes just, they don't really have many hidden development trait offensive linemen, and it makes it almost feel like a void year. Like you might as well just skip online unless you're going to go in the first 2 rounds, which, I mean, I get it because that's how it's supposed to be. But when you're used to the good life of CPU-generated linemen almost all being hidden all the way through the damn draft class, it's hard to get used to. But like I said, it does make sense, right? Like, I didn't make many of the 3rd round and beyond lineman star dev from the IDS Vix class, which is the one we're using for this roster. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's just annoying regardless. Year 2, I can't really say that things have improved a whole lot offensive line-wise. We didn't really do anything. Wide receiver, we have higher potential with youth, but as far as right now, overall, it's just not there. But we're hoping Harbor can be that guy. Of course, technically, Hopkins would have needed a new contract, so we released him for a loss of nothing because I don't think in an 86 overall, maybe I would have done a 1 year, but I wouldn't have probably re-signed him. Went youth instead. Of course, Will Levis, I don't want to say this is his final chance, but at 25, technically in real life would be 26. If he doesn't show some huge gains here, I feel like you would definitely be looking elsewhere, or at least give it a thought. Defensively, we need a new left end. We could use a new corner, kind of. Left out, we're hoping Scorton is the guy. And obviously, we'll need a new free safety. Middle linebacker's not 100% sure for. And then Landry probably needs to be replaced. I know he got paid quite a bit, but his ceiling is completely maxed out. See, this is why we do not do the trade package stuff too often, because that is a crazy overvalue. Maybe Charlie Jones, to be fair, but I'm not going to touch any of those trades. Speaking of, Caleb Farley needs a contract. I don't really think we need him long-term. Molden's okay. Micah Hyde's just kind of past his prime, and at best, we're getting a this year out of him. Anything further, I just don't see, and we'll get Stonehouse back, and that's probably going to be it. Hey, there we go. We got a dev up. What's the XP like? See, that's why you don't hate normal dev. I mean, it's a season. I don't know if I would call it a good season, especially since it's 7 and 10 again. Did I change the scheme? I think I changed the scheme. I can't remember who the hell to. Who was it to? Really finished just poorly, which is just disgusting. Really annoys me when I see that. Who did we have for our scheme offensively? I know we have the Ravens defense. Houston. Tried the Houston scheme, which, once again, I feel like, kind of similar-ish offenses, sort of. But let's take a look at the stats and awards, see what Levis was like. Improvement. Was that enough to hold off potential draft picks at quarterback? I don't know. We'll have to see who's there. Pollard, he must have regressed, right? No, he didn't. He just sucks. Okay, that's unfortunate. Receivers, Harbor was great. Never really thought about saying his first name and last name together. I've said it multiple times, so let the canceling begin. Offensive line, tackles, not the best, but once again, I've seen worse. Sack totals defensively, yeah, I don't think that's going to be Rookie of the Year. Some good tackles for loss, but not really getting the defensive numbers we'd like to see. Awuzie maybe a dev up. Greg Joseph was okay. Stonehouse was great. We gave him a maxed out deal for a punter at least. Joe Burrow wins MVP. We went Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, number 3 at. And that was pretty much it. At least we did get a dev up this year. And then with the breakout during the season, we already had one. So multiple dev ups for our rookie class. Jaguars versus the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, so basically can't root for anyone. And the winner would be the Cowboys. Obviously, this team's fan base and this team itself would be rooting for that, I'd imagine. But looking at the dev ups, Harbor obviously goes up to Superstar. No one is shocked. Levis not going up in dev. No one's shocked, but very disappointed. Landry, Superstar dev now. Gray, Star dev now. So a couple of dev ups, a little late, but hey, still young. That's all that matters. We have a lot of money again, but not a whole lot of players to pay. I will say Burks' overall is higher than I would have expected, but I'm not really sure where that's going to lead him. But we have a lot of money, so there's some decent young names in free agency. Maybe we give him a shot. Well, there's one in there, Tua. There's a quarterback, but obviously that's just not a position that would make sense that he would be there. I don't see that being the case. Deion Dawkins to play right tackle would actually be a pretty decent name. Ooh, Cisco. Okay, so we would like to have a Deion Dawkins. Cisco being a former Jaguar would actually maybe help our chances of getting him on the roster. Because, if he's not, he felt disrespected by his team. Going to the rival would be another addition to, trying to pay it forward, that disrespect you feel. So it looks like we might be getting him as well, which is great. Any other big positions that we can get? Probably not. Quarterback, I would say it's the guy we got, Levis, and then looking at the draft. That's really our options there. Wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins back in free agency, a little bit lower overall this time. It's kind of where I'm at with this free agent group, though. I think we go for the left tackle, we go for the safety, and then we fill the rest with draft picks. Which, of course, all three we get. Deion Dawkins, Andre Cisco, and Jake Elliott. So we're in the draft, and I made a discovery. And that discovery may result in me trading up. Because I have found, debatably, the fastest quarterback we have ever seen. We ran a 4.24. The craziest part is, when I was looking at him, I was like, I'm going to scout him further, see what he's about. Seen he's around one talent. Was about to get into talking about, like, how, hey, this is going to be the guy that, maybe we go for, maybe we trade up for. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to slow sim it. If he's there, he's there. He's not, he's not. No, I am trading up. I am unfortunately having to trade up. And I'm going to be doing that with the Cardinals. Every other team after that, you can argue needs a quarterback. Even the Cardinals, maybe. But Murray's high enough to where I'm like, hey, I don't think that's the route they go, so I don't feel like I'm stealing from them. We'll see if this goes, but I don't know if it will. Surprisingly, this goes. The calculator I did said that we kind of owe them like a late third, but I'm willing to offer whatever works. It's on normal sliders, and 12 and 44, if they view this as a weak class, maybe is fair. Question is this guy going to be good? Because I don't think he's generational, which is weird to say because as far as a user goes, someone actually playing with this player, he is obviously generational. But yeah, this is going to be the quarterback that we take. And likely the quarterback of the future, Eric Cousins. Hidden dev, 94 throw power, 95 speed, 91 excel, 91 agility, 92 change direction. Definitely slower than we thought, but still unbelievable. Which definitely puts a little bit of a damper into my plans. But at the same time, you can't pass on him, right? You just can't. Oh, who's this? 1 of 2 is actually still there. Brian Howard, not the fastest, but wide receiver, kind of a problem going forward. We have other positions, though, right? We have tight end, which we'll probably try to get the next round if possible. O-line is definitely a problem. What about defense? We got linebackers, and there's so much going on here. I can't believe this corner's still here. Didn't really get to scout him, though, so I'll never be able to take him without, feeling kind of weird about it. Doug Logan looks pretty good, I gotta be honest, but wide receiver's also still there. We also have Tyler Lane. What's his name? Taylor Lane, anyways. Super fast. Debating on what I want to do here. I would like to have a tight end here, but it's a little early, I think. Maybe not. Do we go guard? Scott, maybe? I mean, Scott looks pretty good. Logan. I might go Doug Logan. Is he 22? 22 years old. Decently strong. Doug Logan. Hey, Nev, win. We go to the next round, and we take best available. If the tight ends are there, maybe we take a shot. If not, we... Oh, Brian Howard's still there, by the way. That's crazy. Yeah, I've got no choice. Brian Howard in the 4th round. 1 of 2 talent grade. Normal dev, I'm taking the chance that he's 21. Let's see who's there in the 5th round. We have the wide receiver. The tight end, unfortunately, is gone. We have a bunch of wide receivers here. Presley's got a B-man coverage. I'm not, super fond of him, but he's good enough to where, maybe I take a chance. Do I take a chance? I mean, I see an elite in there, right? We got a couple of elite ratings. 3 elite ratings for athleticism is really weird. Maybe he's hidden. Yeah, I was about to say, just a little weird. I was thinking maybe just like the wide receiver versions, a slot goon, and that's what he is. I mean, very good change of direction type stuff. Speed's good enough, 5'11". He's a slot goon. Then we go to the next round. And if the speedy wide receiver is there, we'll take him and have a pretty damn good draft pick. Didn't really do much for the trenches, at least on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, I think I'm going to take the chance with Taylor Lane. Very fast. Hidden? Ooh, normal, but really fast. I would be very curious, though, to see if the quarterback we took was a left-handed player. That would be crazy to me. I mean, there's some other wide receivers. I think we've done enough at wide receiver. Oh, Trent Jones was actually 6'6", wasn't he? Yeah, never mind. What am I talking about? Slower than I thought. Jumping is laughably bad, but we got our wide receivers. This draft was kind of crazy. I can't lie. This was definitely a weird one for us. I think it was worth the trade up. Levis really hasn't shown a whole lot. And more importantly, this guy's athleticism's through the roof. 77 overall. Maybe he actually is an X factor. Maybe. Very accurate. Trigger happy sense of pressure. Tight spiral. Injury, stamina, toughness. A little worrisome, without a doubt. Juke ability's okay. No truck. Not a lot of stiff arm. Good change of direction. I'm really curious to see what his dev is, but he's got to start. We have no choice. And it's only start, which I think is fair. This is almost debatably, especially since he's wearing number 1, a Justin Fields build. Right? 6'2", 220. That's very close to Justin Fields. I think this is a Justin Fields build, which in real life, I don't know how I would feel about that, but in game, I mean, that is the build you are absolutely, sought after, if you will. Did we get alignment? We got alignment to play with right tackle, so we're actually set on O-line now with Doug playing guard. Howard is normal dev, but I'm still curious to see how good he is. That is a guy that can develop. That is without a doubt a guy that can develop. We'll see what we want to do at wide receiver. Kind of want to see how we change things around. But Presley, he's a decent zone, not zone, but slot corner. I feel personally, and he's a superstar. That's pretty nice. That's a nice little boost. And then the rest don't really matter too much. I guess we'll take a look at Trent Jones because he's 6'6". Yeah, I actually had to do a double take because I did not expect to see the speed there. I was like, huh? And he's only star, but that's fine. We've got ourselves potentially the guy. Here we go, Season 3 team, and we did something for the trenches, right? We got a new left tackle. We got ourselves a new right guard. Latham finally gets to play right tackle, like Destiny has spoken of it. Quarterback, brand new. Eric Cousins, as much as Levis showed improvements, a once-in-a-lifetime type of player showed up, and I could not ignore it. Sitting at pick 12, we only had to give up, our mid-second to get him. Hoping he's the guy. We're going to run Buffalo's offense, have a little bit of running in as well. Wide receivers, I mean, is Treylon Burks actually going to be a guy that we stick with long-term? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but Calvin Ridley's got to go pretty soon. Then we look at the defensive side of the ball, and everyone's at least a star plus. How many of those are not going to be here going forward? Probably a lot of them, but still, for now, I like what I see. Now I don't know what I expected. Oh, Sneed needs a contract already, apparently. I don't know what I expected, but I expected more. That's all I know. Hooker, man, that overall is kind of low. Murray, yes. Okonkwo, there's actually, like, normally, straight up, I know what I need, right? I know what players I want to keep. It's very simple to me. This is not one of those times. I am not really 100% sure. Sneed for sure. Hooker, maybe. Pollard, maybe. Kenneth, probably. Burks, I don't know. Okonkwo, maybe. Awuzie, no. Ridley, no. McCrary, yes. There's a lot of question marks here. Cushenberry, I don't know. There's a lot going on. I think all the guys I said I don't know about, I think I'm going to let go. Here we are in the playoffs, and man, this has been a really brutal first 3 seasons. No matter what scheme I run on offense, it has been 7-10 the entire way. I don't know if it's just because we're in the AFC, what's the story, but we're really not showing much progress, because there is no progress. Let's take a look at the stats and awards, see how our rookie played. Eric Cousins. Yards were decent. Touchdowns were okay. Picks were really low. So not bad, just as a team, we sucked. Harbor was worse than last year. Ridley was better. Burks was better. Okonkwo was decent. Looking at blocking, was there somebody that... No, some pretty decent numbers. Better than normal, in fairness, but not by much. Landry, 9 sacks. Everyone else was terrible. Tackles for a loss, 15, but I did see a big number there. Cedric Gray, who I may have called him Eric Gray. Cedric Gray, 145 tackles. Dev up, I'd be down. 4 interception cornerbacks. That could be a dev up for 1, if not all of them. Elliott was okay. Stonehouse was great. That's why we paid him that long-term contract. But I will say, no actual guarantees for dev-ups, and that really sucks. I lied. The quarterback gets Rookie of the Year. He actually did have a pretty good year. A lot of times it feels like we're kind of just gifted Rookie of the Year because we're the user team, but that one, I think, 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, just about 4,000 yards. That's pretty damn good. Chiefs versus Cowboys. Cowboys win another one? That'd be super fun to see the Cowboys. Yeah, nice. The Cowboys win another one. Super fun to watch. Obviously, the quarterback gets dev up. Anyone else? Probably not. Unfortunately, nobody else. Cousins, superstar def. We love to see it. Defensively, Landry goes the X Factor. Gray is a superstar. And Hooker's an X Factor. We gave Hooker on 2-year, 19. And it's absolutely worth it. X Factor for everybody. Anyone else? No, unfortunately. Not even McCreary, who was only a normal dev as is. Kind of iffy. We're progressing as a team, but I gotta admit, normally we would do a trade down or two by now. Haven't really done many trade downs. We've been doing mainly trade ups. Been grabbing the guys we've wanted, and for the most part, they've been good picks. But because of those trade ups, less quantity leading to less positions filled. And now we're going to need to do even more as we're likely losing some other players. Murray didn't want to join back, so it's either tag or leave him be. The other guys, Awuzie and Ridley, who we never wanted back in the first place, the regressions have hit them. And then the only last name would be Pollard, who I did try to get back, refusing to re-sign 2-year 25. Oh yeah, now he takes it because he's regressed a little bit, but I'm still down. Which I'll be honest with you, I really shouldn't be because he's averaging like 3.8 yards per carry, but still, it could be worse. I mean, if we started someone not in the 90s, we probably have like 3.3 yards per carry, so it is what it is. It could be definitely worse. Wide receiver? Any free agent wide receivers? Mark Andrews would be a sick name to have. Kittle's there as well. Fuller, the corner. I mean, I'd rather just start McCreary or Presley even. Mix in. You have Brian Robinson away. But Harold Landry's the best guy we have, technically, at pass rush. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do that. And unfortunately, unless there's a young wide receiver, there doesn't seem to be any good wide receivers outside of Wan'Dale Robinson. Not really the case. So looks like we're going to be drafting wide receiver in the first round, most likely. We end up getting away a 3-year 51 at 27 years old. I think with his ratings, he could easily be the replacer of Harold Landry. I know Harold Landry is technically our best edge rusher, but he keeps getting a lower and lower overall as he keeps getting older and older. I mean, there's got to be at some point a given. I think Harold Landry might just be like a really good rotational guy right now. I think that's what his use is going to be. 30 years old. I mean, he's not bad. but he's definitely not as good as Owe. Obviously, we can save a ton of money right now if we got rid of him. Could still do it. 9 sacks, even though he's the best on our team, it doesn't really mean a whole lot because it's still not, like, elite numbers, even though he is an X factor now. We could land some really good Jerzon Newton. I don't know if I'd see him as that good a value, but we could definitely use it ET. So if there's anyone like that, I'd maybe want to make that play. Our picks get closer and closer to, the top 5. Parrish looking pretty good. Who else did we have on our list? I can't remember, but wide receiver is definitely pretty high. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that tight end looked generational. I think he's definitely a generational player, which I think our tight end's good enough, and we don't really utilize the tight end that much to where I should go and trade up for what I would view as a generational player there, but definitely, gave me a thought or two of it. Morales, super speedy. I mean, he fits the need of wide receiver. But do I see him as such a good player that I'm willing to take him at 9? Probably not. I think this is going to be one of our trade downs, maybe to 20. We trade pick 9 and a 6th 2 years from now for the Steelers' 19th and 51st picks this year. They end up trading up for a guard. Interesting. I think if Morales is there, I'm going to take him. I think even though we have potential at wide receiver, man, there's some edge rushers here too, which, I don't really need. We just got away. I don't think I really need them. So, yeah, I'm just going to end up going Joe Morales. All the speed in the world. Please be hidden, though. Yes, that is good. A lot of those speedy guys I have gotten, unfortunately, normal devs. Not today. We love it. And I'm not even sure if I would say that corner is the biggest need I have. This could be a C man coverage, but the value, I think, is there for cornerback. Bart Washington, fast enough, 6'2". I think I'm going to take him, Bart Washington. And he's hidden dev, 94. He is really athletic at 6'2". Did we just get ourselves another Caleb Farley? But hopefully better. The Bengals are willing to give us like 12 or 13 spot difference for a 4th round pick. I'm willing to do it. We've got a couple of 4th rounders that have not been so bad. Hobbs is also like the interior guy that I wanted, so doesn't help my case with him. Gandhi, Mahatma. He was actually there. Fryer is interesting, but we don't really need safety too bad. I was going to say we don't really need safety, but we kind of do, actually. Right? Like, I would love to get one that's 21, though, because we're future-proofing, right? We don't need... Ooh, Fry was the guy that kind of got me into thinking about safety, too, and he is there still. I need interior, though. The problem is I don't know who's good. Williams, we know, at least has a B power move. Manny, we know, at least has a B finesse move, which is definitely interesting. 21 years old. I'm taking Andrew Manning. And another hidden! We are cooking this draft. Let's go to the 3rd round, see what we got. Zimmerman, there was actually 2 linebackers named Zimmerman, and they were both fast. I wonder if they're actually like brothers or whatever. Everyone's a 3 to 4 here. I think it might be a Zimmerman choice here. 3 to 4 linebackers needed. We actually need like an actual starter. There's some decent tight ends, but I think, we just paid a Conquo. Give him another year to maybe develop, hopefully. And Devon Zimmerman, who I think the other guy was white. No, so ignore me. Very athletic. Be that guy. And he is that guy. This has been a great draft. The first couple of drafts, yeah, we likely got our franchise quarterback this last draft, but some iffy stuff. But this has been, there's no iffy. Oof. Except for the fact that we're in the 4th round and all of my players are gone. And we're actually getting some 3rd round offers next year for this pick. The Vikings are interesting. The Commander. I'm going to go Commanders 3rd round next year. That's going to be my choice, although they have Jaden Daniels, don't they? Maybe I should have went with the Vikings. Then they got McCarthy. I don't know. Either way, totally worth the pick. We get a 3rd round next year. I don't need this pick, really. I just don't. We're going to end up getting a 4th next year from the Vikings. I know this isn't really that much of a gain, potentially, but I just, once again, don't have much here. There's a reason why I don't scout this far into the draft, because there's just not a lot of talent to work with. And I took a shot in the dark on a guy that had some decent power back ratings, even though he wasn't that fast. And of course, he was hidden. Will he ever be anything for us? I would give it a 0.1%. Yeah, we put 2 decimal points in there. It's so low. But we'll take the extra draft or extra depth, especially since he is, in fact, hidden dev. I mean, he is definitely not too bad because of that hidden devness. Chad Nash, why the hell not? Everyone's damn hidden this draft class, except for that guy, obviously, unfortunately. Here we go. Let's see if that wide receiver is good enough. He'll probably be the number 2 with Burks sticking to the slot. We gave him a 3-year, 29, I think. Not a bad contract for how like little he's done for us, but we at least got the depth there. We have options 75. Wow. Okay, the corner and DT were amazing. There's some pretty damn good players here, actually. 97 speed, obviously, for Morales, who is hidden dev. Release is amazing. Deep rod's great. Catching is definitely very good for a rookie. Injury and stamina are great. Don't know what his dev is, but he's automatic number 2, I think, just based on his upside. And only star dev. Kind of expected it. Number 18 is a decent number. Why not? Bart Washington. I think corner 2. Athletics. Oh, he's amazing. I think corner 2, right out the gate. It's crazy to think, but he is. Especially if he's higher than star, it'd be even smarter for us to do, which he's unfortunately not. And then the best player of all, in my opinion, is the fact that we ended up with finally someone on the interior for the trenches. Andrew Manning, more of a block shed type again, but super strong. Very high potential. He's only 21 years old. What's that dev looking like? Only star. Another only star, but that's fine. That's fine. We're doing all right for ourselves. Is it right? I don't even know if it's left end, right end we need. Zimmerman, the automatic starter, super speedy. I was expecting normal dev, but he's just spectacular. I mean, look at how fast he is. He's got hit power. It's one of the better, off balls we've drafted in a while, actually, especially how late we took him. Star dev, I was thinking maybe one of these guys is going to be a superstar or something like that, but not today, unless the running back is, which, to be honest, it doesn't matter because he'll be sitting no matter what. He's got potential. He's really slow, but he's like a poor man's A.J. Dillon, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad. Star dev, yeah, I mean, you're not really going to get much burn there. What about the draft pick? So 79 overall for Parrish, who did look like a generational, and definitely is. 89 power move, super athletic. A little weird that he's only 6'2", at almost 260, but a generational is a generational, and that's exactly what he is. Falcons know how to do it. They know how to take those generationals. Can they actually utilize them well, though? I don't know. Bass, this could be up in air. I don't know if this is a generational player or not because he's really athletic. Traits are lacking a little bit. Route running is very good, in fairness. Could easily be star or superstar. Let's see. Nah, I think he's generational. I would consider that to be generational. What a pick. Season 4 still not made the playoffs. Still haven't gotten past 7 wins even. We got a new center, Connor McGovern. I just completely forgot about the center position. I thought we were fine, and I completely forgot about Cushenberry being gone. The rest of the line's not too bad, though. Tight ends, okay. Wide receivers got potential because they're young. Cousins, obviously, all the potential in the world. And then Pollard, good enough for another year or 2 as the starter. Defensively, got a new name at middle linebacker, new name at left end, new name at corner. Outside of really Amani Hooker, I mean, we're actually looking pretty good. I don't think there's many players we have to replace on defense. And then offensively, new center, maybe a new tight end, maybe a new wide receiver at some point, maybe a new running back, we'll see, maybe a new left tackle. But it's mainly the offensive side of the ball that needs things, and even then, it's not a whole lot. Yeah, I got to do this trade. They're offering us a tackle, a 3rd-round pick, a 7th, and a 6th-round pick, kind of for the future, in fairness, for Will Levis. I have no choice. We got ourselves a potential future lineman, a 3rd-round pick, some other extra stuff for a quarterback that we were likely going to let go. Obviously, it's definitely helpful for them to be able to use him before the season's over. And in general, not have to go for the bid war frenzy. I'm down with that trade. I get he's 27, but in the right system, you just never know. You really never know. He's got some weapons now. He's going to be on the team with some weapons, so you just never know. Kind of sucks that it never worked out with us for Will Levis, but there was potential there. It's just a better option came along, and you don't pass on that. Ask the Cardinals. Hey, Eric Cousins, the Justin Fields, Michael Vick, whatever, Lamar Jackson clone, whatever you want to call him, is in. There you go. X Factor. 115 mil. Obviously, Gray gets a contract. Tyjae Spears, I think, is definitely going to get a contract, especially at that value. Skronsky for sure. Sweat, yeah. Landry, probably not. It's not bad value, though. So, I mean, just getting a versatile guy that can play, well, not versatile, but still a good player to play backup. Deion Dawkins, that's too much money, I think. But once again, we have a lot of money. We're not really too worried about the salary cap as of now. So we're going to keep the guys we know we need to keep, like Mr. Cedric Gray. Is this going to be the ultimate choke? Let's find out. It will not be. We hold on to the division at 10-7. Let's take a look at the schedule. We, I think, went with the Falcons playbook this year. I can't remember if it was or not. Very ironic they showed the Falcons there. But yeah, a little bit of a choke. Lost 3 of the last 5, which isn't crazy, but for a moment there, it felt like it was going to be 5 of the last 5. But let's take a look at the stats and awards. Obviously, we have an X Factor quarterback now. See if that played a factor. Very high touchdowns. Oh, he's amazing. Yards are low, but touchdown to pick ratio is amazing. Rushing, I mean, Pollard's just been 3.8 yards per carry every single season. Harbor was decent. Okonkwo was better. Morales was okay. Burks really didn't have much going on. Looking at the sacks, they were terrible. Latham, 14 sacks allowed as a right tackle. Manning and Scorton was not bad, and Away was pretty much useless. Love to see that. Elliott, not many kicks, but they were perfect. Stonehouse, great again. Lovely, like we gave him that long-term contract. No regrets to be found. Yearly awards, number 6 on the MVP list. I was expecting higher than that, but still good. 8 for Cousins on Player of the Year on offense. No one for defense. Rookie of the Year on offense. 3 for Morales. And then Manning winning on defense Rookie of the Year, which is a great win. He's superstar dev now. Cousins, 3rd best quarterback, so that's Pro Bowl. Running back at 8 with Pollard. A little surprised he's even there. Wide receiver Harbor at 8. O-line at number 3 and 5 and 10. D-line, not on the list. Linebacker at number 5. DB, not on the list. Kicker at number 2. But the big thing is, we had more than 7 wins, and we've actually made the playoffs. 87 overall versus the Jets, who are 12-5, 86 overall. Going to the end of the game, let's see it. The Jets starting off strong with 7. We drive down. It takes a little longer, but we do get 7. They also get 7 back, though. It's a bit of a battle. Missed extra points, but we do get the touchdown back anyway. Second half, up 14 points. Defense doing a pretty good job of giving up a touchdown there. We drove down. We got nothing, and just like that, the Jets have tied up the game. And we are moving the ball down. 4th and 2. This is a long field goal. He's going to hit it. He does! But the Jets have a chance. But they do not have enough time. They get denied it, and we're moving on to the divisional round with the first playoff season for us being a victory-filled one. I don't know how we won, to be honest. We had a couple of rushing touchdowns, but yardage seemed to suck. I'm not even sure how we moved into position for scores, but defense did a pretty decent job, it seems, and I can't believe we missed the field goal and an extra point. Was that what that was saying? I'm pretty sure those were 2 separate things. 2 missed kicks in 1 game. At least he hit that long game winner, I suppose, but still. Stop. Beginning of that divisional round, here we are headed to it. It's against the Chiefs, who obviously still have Patrick Mahomes. Seen him in free agency a few times, a little bit later than this, but still kind of crazy to see it. We are 5 overalls lower than them. Here it is, end of the game. 7-0, easy start for the Chiefs. We get a field goal, though. We're now down by 11, though. Now down by 18 now at half. Down by 21 at half. Huge drive for a field goal. Although we're still in it, defense is actually allowing us to stay in this game. It is, believe it or not, a 5-point game against the Chiefs. No 2-point conversion success. They're moving the ball, 3rd and 1. This is probably the biggest play of the game. They're in bunch. Let's see if we can get in there in time. We are not run committing, but we have players up. And wow, what a play! Manning, the Rookie of the Year on defense, making him lose 5 on 3rd and 1. Could you imagine? Could you imagine this team does the impossible and beats the Chiefs? Wow, you are going backwards. Okay, I'm coming in. This is kind of crazy. I don't even know if we have time. We do. I mean, it's going to probably go to Harbor, the big fella. Let's see Cousins, who's got speed. And he's going to get him a chance. Who holds on? What a play! The DB was slightly out of position, but man, the throw power from Eric Cousins is unbelievable. I also wonder what his abilities are, because that ball ripped. I mean, the DB never even turned around. I mean, look at this. This ball is there in a heartbeat. Unbelievable. Throws him away. Needed to get in the end zone. He stopped short. We probably lose the game. That is a crazy last play. And we do have the read option. I think they're going to read this, though. And they will. But that's going to leave Pollard inside open for the 2-point conversion. I think this team has just pulled off the upset. And they will. To the championship round. Mahomes threw a pick in this game. Cousins wasn't great, but he was still technically better because he didn't throw a pick. Equal touchdowns for both sides. I love that Cousins is like rushing in for a touchdown pretty much every game. Harbor was amazing. This team, which really doesn't have, you know, like a superstar weapon outside of the quarterback, really, is finding a way to win. I also think improviser is the #1 archetype for our quarterback, so I'd be really curious to see if he actually has a chance at 99 speed by the end of this rebuild. That would be insane. The Bills 87 overall versus our 87 overall. We've been kind of going through the gauntlet of teams here. I just can't believe the defense allowed 0 points in the second half. That is unbelievable to me. 3-all, 6-3, a lot of field goals in this one. Driving down the field. It's a 6-3 game still. Driving down and no touchdown again. Are we just turning the ball over every single time, or what's the story? All right, it's 13-all. The Bills are driving down. This looks like they could walk away with it. Not a whole lot of time left. I mean, we're moving the ball, but it's not looking great. Do we have the same kind of play in us? It's a lot longer of a throw, though. I mean, you're trying to look to the end zone, really. And we didn't have the time to throw to Harbor. Harbor took way too long to get out there. We definitely should try to set something up shorter. Maybe go verticals, see if we can get, like, Morales down the sideline. If not, we have that one-on-one with Harbor, it seems. Would love to get him even further out, but that's not going to happen. Oh, my God. The speed our quarterback has, and yet we still got beat off the edge. Yeah, we did. By freaking Rousseau. That's insane. I mean, I'm not really sure what they want me to do, you know? I really don't like this. There we go. I can live with that. Is it possible to get Morales back over on the other side? I mean, it shows an arrow, no? Okay, whatever. Last play. I actually can't hike the ball right now. This is insane. I actually can't hike the ball. What is wrong with this game, genuinely? Now we're in, like, field goal or Hail Mary only range. I don't know what's going on with this game. I really don't. It's just... Did I have the wrong formation? I wasn't, like, allowed to hike it? And that was supposed to be the guy that I switched to. We'll see what happens. That kind of hung up there a little bit in that pile. But unfortunately, we're going to lose in the championship round. One hell of a run, though. Just no scoring, really. This Buffalo defense just locked us down. As Cousins just really couldn't throw past one passing touchdown. Obviously, he's had a lot of rushing touchdowns, but still just really disappointing. Didn't really do enough as a pure quarterback, in my opinion. Defensively, our sack totals really came from an inside linebacker, which is definitely not good. And then, once again, Elliott missing another field goal. I know he was perfect in the regular season, but man, this playoff run, it could not have come at a worse time as he needed a contract this year. Whoopsie. And was it the Bills or was it the Vikings? Kind of a winless streak about to be broken? It was, and the Vikings are the ones to win it. DevUps? Any DevUps? Okonkwo, probably? Superstar dev for Okonkwo, 82 overall. No other DevUps, unfortunately. Morales didn't do enough to win Rookie of the Year. Okonkwo is 27 years old, and he finally got a superstar, but I suppose it's never too late to live your dreams. And then defensively, Manning obviously went up in dev, and that is unfortunately it. But still a pretty damn good season, obviously, especially when we made the playoffs like we did. All right, 95 mil. I think we took care of all the contracts we wanted to. We've got a 5th-year option here. I think it's worth just waiting on, and everyone else is sort of backup level. I almost say content. Some decent backups in here, in fairness, but I think we'll do better or cheaper. As we head to free agency, once again, a lot of money. We are not really a team of brokenness. A.J. Brown, man, I wish you were here a year ago. I really wish you were here last year, because that would have been a move. Connor Williams is pretty costly. Yeah, I don't think, once again, we talked about how, like, keeping a team intact is really hard to do, especially if you're paying offensive linemen. And he just gave up 8 sacks. So, no thank you, unfortunately. Taylor Decker, though. I might give Taylor Decker. We need a tackle, all right? I'm going to give some tackle money. I don't know if it's going to be Taylor Decker or not. Probably will be. Paris Johnson. How has he actually played, and what's his development? 26 years old, very good pass blocker, as that reflected. Not really good the first 2 seasons, but the last 2 have been great. So I think I might actually go Paris Johnson. I'll give him a 2-year deal and call it there. See what's up. All right, we have pick 30 in the draft. The literal worst draft pick you can have. Because once again, we talked about it many times before. It's the only draft pick, or the worst draft pick, before the playoffs, or the Super Bowl. So it means that you weren't good enough to make the Super Bowl, but you still get the fun of having a bad draft pick. There's a 6'8" wide receiver, which definitely has caught my mind, my eyes. O-line, we can kind of use a center. This guy looks pretty good, but I don't think a first-round O-lineman is on the board for me. Right end, Chris Young. I mean, that's really just future-proofing a position that doesn't need to be changed yet. I also scouted Wesley further, and or further, if you will, and he's still not really showing what he can do to me with that zone coverage. I don't know why I said do to me, but I think the value's there, so Barry Wesley. Maybe it isn't. Then we move on to 30, where we're likely going to be taking an offensive lineman. That third-round pick ended up becoming a pretty good pick for us as well. Running back, I think if I'm going to go running back, I'll go Aaron Manning. Don't have to really spend too much, and we'll be fine. The thing about Moran is, yeah, he's 6'8", but he's really not that fast. I'm curious to see what he is. Maybe a superstar dev. I don't really know, but just not that big of a need for us. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with Jonathan Hood, who looks really beastly. Jonathan Hood, hidden dev, win. Not that strong, but really good potential ratings. Then move on to the next round, where we could still go offensive line. We'll see if we want to, but we could still do that. Is the wide receiver Morant still there? He is not. That's fine. Do we go linebacker? What about Snead? Actually, Snead has got some value. Yeah, I'm going to go Ezekiel Snead, who is hidden dev. Yeah, I mean, he looked like a sleeper. I'd take the sleepers. That's really all there is to it. There's no science beyond that. And I really do like this center. He's UDFA, which is really weird. I usually don't see UDFAs that look that good on the offensive line. But I think with this pick, Aaron Manning's going to be my choice. 22 years old, decently fast, some good truckability rating, some A's in there. Welcome to the team. Who is also hidden dev. We have really been hitting the hidden devs. They haven't really been the best of devs, usually just star dev, but that's still really good. If the linebacker, if there's Alvarado was one of my linebackers. But I say if there's still a linebacker, I might take one. Philip French, he was pretty damn athletic, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, we'll take him. Why not? It's getting kind of ridiculous. I'll be honest, it's getting kind of ridiculous with the amount of hiddens we're drafting. This is wild. We're going to take the Raiders' 4th-round pick for our late 4th round this year, and see what they want to do with it, which is Zach Hardison. 30 in the 5th, we'll take that center if he's there. He was UDFA, but a lot of the guys that are actually gems that are UDFA are taken a lot sooner than that, so that's what happens here, unfortunately. Deion Jackson, speedy, why not? Normal dev kind of expected it, but I suppose we didn't need any other linemen. We have our line set now for the next at least 2 seasons, which means that we can always just draft future linemen next year if we want to do that. And, I mean, we even have our safety set. I don't really know what we want to do here. Probably just grab some random wide receiver. And here's the draft. A lot of names. The fullback was 74. We had a 93 kick power kicker. 69 overall for the hidden middle linebacker. The highest overall we had was the running back. Wesley, who's going to be a backup right now, could be a future starter. I don't know. Is very raw, I got to say. He's got a little bit of athleticism, but definitely raw. Not a great first-round pick. Jonathan Hood, who is weird to play center, but we'll see what happens with that right guard we drafted last year. Maybe he'll play center. Snead, very raw as well, but once again, hidden dev. And because none of these guys are starters, I don't really care too much about the devs right now. Whatever happens, happens. It's not going to affect anything this year. We are now at the midway point. We have some pretty damn good players, right? Maybe tight end needs to be looked at. Running back for sure, but we have so many like star dev running backs that maybe just one of them needs to start. Offensive line, the overalls really haven't jumped too high, but we have everything on about 180 sliders, so I'm not really sure what else I can do other than bumping them even higher. It's not a bad team. Once again, we're kind of lacking like that superstar talent, but we have a very good team. Contract time, 132 mil. Ooh, Harbor definitely needs a contract. Scorton, about 22 per year should do it. Latham, oh man, there's some really expensive contracts in here. Okay, so money is starting to become a problem. That is something I have noticed, and the quarterback is well on his way. Yeah, you can see here. 5th-year option might actually be an option for once. It might actually be something we do, but let's see where we're left with after signing these contracts. So not counting Tony Pollard into the equation, we only have $42 million left. So I'm hoping some money shows up, because if not, whoops. To the playoffs, a little bit of a falter, but we should still be in if we win this game, and we do. 10-7, the Jaguars were, uncatchable, and they win the division, but we still make the playoffs nonetheless. That's all that matters. You get your name in the hat, you can be drawn from the hat. Won the last 4 despite losing the previous 4. So like I said, a little bit of a slide, but a nice, clean, clutch finish. And time to change the scheme again. We went with the Falcons this year, 32-4, 3,800 yards. Rushing, Pollard still 3.8 yards per carry, which at this rate is kind of ridiculous. Hood, Rookie of the Year on offensive line. I mean, he was unbelievable. The tackles were absolutely terrible, which is ironic because both of those guys are actually getting real contracts. Pass rush is terrible. We got to change a lot of things. Gray could go up and dev with a lot of picks. Young was not bad for a rookie, and Stonehouse has been Great throughout. He's been great throughout. Was there something else I wanted to look at? I thought there was, but too late. Any award wins? We win nothing. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see if Pollard had 3.8 yards this entire rebuild so far. I'm pretty sure he has. Like, how is this genuinely possible? The last 4 seasons, he had 3.8 yards per carry on the nose. That is genuinely insane. And each season was different. I don't even know, dude. This is weird. But not as weird as it would be if we won a Super Bowl. The Broncos, 87 overall. Bo Nix is the next factor. Let's see if we can win. All right, a lot of the teams are kind of the same overall. Bo Nix and the Broncos look pretty decent. They already intercepted us with a 7-point lead. 7-all. Defense is definitely playing its part. Offense is really just trying everything they can to lose this game. We are up by 3 in the second half. Up by 9. Up by 2. That extra point could cost us. And with that touchdown, I think we'll do enough, and we will, as we'll head on to the divisional round. Once again, I don't know what it is, but Eric Cousins has yet to throw in 4 playoff games now for more than 1 passing touchdown. I know he has a rushing touchdown. I know there's other rushing touchdowns on the team, but pure passing touchdowns, 1 in 4 games. I don't understand how that's possible. And it's the Patriots, 11-6 versus our 10-7 team. On the road again, only 85 overall for them, but they do have their franchise quarterback. Going to the end of the game, the Patriots score the first points. We bounce back, though, finally, 14-7. But I say finally, as we actually don't take all day to score another touchdown. Really nice start, though, 21-14. Obviously, defense this time not really playing that well. And I think that whole only passing for 1 touchdown, I think that thing is gone, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we'll see. As 42-27, it'd be pretty hard not to throw for more than 1 touchdown, and he does. He has 3 touchdowns in the game. Drake May gets outplayed for sure. Cousins added another on the ground, which, you know, that's at least a consistent streak. Pollard was great, and defensively, we really haven't seen much from really any of our guys. Haven't really seen any, like, crazy sack games outside of, like, Zimmerman that one year had 2 sacks, but outside of that, we really haven't had, like, any pass rushers take over, any DBs intercept multiple times. It's just been consistent football, and it's good enough to get us to the championship around back-to-back years. And the Texans are here with us. The division is strong. One of these 2 teams is going to be representing in the Super Bowl. Really weird to see that they're 9-8, yet they have an 88 overall. I mean, maybe it's not only us that get shafted at times. Maybe it's more. And so far, I mean, really low scoring. Ooh, not anymore. 17-0, we got to score. There you go. It's 20-7. Nice touchdown before half. That was massive. Down by 6. This is definitely doable now. Up by 1. The resilience of this Titans team is kind of cooking. The Texans do score a touchdown, though. It's a 3-point game. Could drive out with the game winner. And they might have done it. I thought they were moving too slowly, but they were at perfect pace. And the Tennessee Titans are headed to the Super Bowl. Cousins with back-to-back 3-touchdown games. Did throw a pick, but that's okay. Stroud this time with 2 rushing touchdowns. And we find our way into the Super Bowl. Let's go. Not bad. It's the Packers. Titans versus Packers. There's been a couple of heated matchups over the years between these 2 teams. Nothing really too spectacular, but a sliver of history, I suppose. Looking at the dev-ups of our team, if there were any, and it would not have been any on offense defensively. Gray does go to X Factor as we expected. Away goes the Superstar, which is massive. And Cisco goes to Superstar, which is also massive. Not really sure how Away got a dev up. A lot of tackles for a loss, maybe, because his sack numbers are, 7.5 sacks with 17 tackles for loss. That's not bad, actually. That's actually not terrible. And then Cisco, I can't remember what he did to get his dev up, but we love to see it existing. We obviously love to see it because, I mean, how did he get a dev up? Now, this one I don't get at all, but I'll take it, obviously. But, no dev up for Snead. That's what I'm talking about, these dev ups for these DBs. We need them. At least you got one of them. But, Snead is a little bit more of a desperate situation for it. But either way, we find ourselves taking on the Green Bay Packers. Really surprisingly good season again. This time actually making it to the Promised Land. Can we actually win the trophy, though? Going to the end of the game, the Packers score first. We've been letting every team score first, which is crazy. Packers are not playing around. 14-7. Nice drive. 14-10. Big drive, no score. We're down by 11 now. Ooh, this is not looking good. We got to score some points there. I mean, this team is resilient, though. You got to give them credit. As if we drive down for the touchdown, we take the lead back. Not even back. We never had it. 4-point lead. 4th and 4, they're going to have to punt it. If we don't give them the ball back, we win. And we do! The Tennessee Titans are Super Bowl champions. I'm not going to say that I felt like this was early, but I don't know if I felt like the team was good enough. Yet, it must be, because we just won one over Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. I really thought it might have been just a little early, just because I didn't feel like the team was that good yet, but Cousins, the Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields clone, if you will, he is delivered already on the Super Bowl promise. I mean, I would definitely call him more of a Lamar Jackson because, well, Lamar's not really had that much postseason success, but more than Fields, obviously. Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable, speedy talent who maybe can solidify himself as one of the best ever already if he wins a couple more. We still have a lot of time. He's obviously unbelievably talented. The seasons have been pretty good touchdown to pick ratio-wise. Not the best playoff performances, but definitely better this year than last year. Jordan Love and him went toe-to-toe, but Cousins was better. No rushing touchdowns, but Pollard was at least decent. Pollard was pretty good in the playoffs this year. Reed was unbelievable. Morales was unbelievable. Basically, 2 slot receivers just going head-to-head. Sacks, nothing spectacular, but we did sack them. And just a clean game where we scored more points and won the Super Bowl. And for some reason, I've been forgetting to show the win-loss at times. Sometimes it just completely forgets me. And it's funny because I'm in the Super Bowl and I'm like, okay, remember to show it, remember to show it, remember to show it. And then I come out and I just get completely distracted. But there you go. So we have $58 million and some potential retirements here. A couple of guys retiring Super Bowl champions. But we can't really spend money in free agency. We can barely even resign the players we've got. Quarterback needs a contract. He's the franchise. Probably better off just waiting out that 5th-year option and just paying him right away. But we'll see what happens. Because it would be nice if you could actually 5th-year option and then pay them right away before the market explodes even more. But yeah, $45 million. I mean, it's going to be at least 45 to 50 per anyways. And this is only saving me 1 year. So the savings just aren't there. Safety-wise, Hooker's still really good. If I can do a 1 year, just so I know I can afford this quarterback, I'm willing to do it. 1 year 9, keep the Super Bowl team intact as much as possible. And as much as I want to say that, I think Tony Pollard's got to go. He just regressed really hard. 3.8 yards per carry guy who, yeah, he was pretty good in the playoffs, but regular season, not so much. I think it's Tyjae Spears times. I put times at the end of it because Spears is an S. I know I felt like you guys needed to know that, but I told you. Free agency, quick look. Jalen Carter's always in free agency. The Eagles just don't have any money, but he is really good in fairness. So somebody's going to pay him, I would imagine. But there's some names in here, but nothing really spectacular. Jalen Carter, but once again, we can't afford him. Block shed type anyways, already got plenty of that. So we're going to not spend any money here. I can't believe Fairchild's a free agent. He's a superstar lineman. But we're not going to spend any money and hopefully have another future-proofing type draft. What are some of these offers, though? We get an 80 overall wide receiver. We got, that guy makes sense. This guy, though, an X-Factor tight end. 77 overall left guard. I mean, he's younger. In theory, he might be on contract longer. But, I mean, it's crazy some of the offers these teams, give. We have the 32nd overall pick. We're going to go straight on because, realistically, outside of, future-proofing corner in case we get rid of Snead, we don't have many needs, I suppose. We scouted some of the other positions like tight end. Lafferty is interesting because Okonkwo, he's getting older. He's going to need a contract again, and obviously we're not going to be paying that contract out. We do have Tolbert at the cornerback, but Small. Chris Small looks way better, but he's 6'3", and I've had a little iffiness with... Okay, he is really fast, though. With 6'3 corners, he had an A-man coverage. I didn't know what the zone coverage is, so I didn't really scout the speed. I definitely need Small, all right? I definitely need Small. But I kind of want a tight end as well. Let's take a look at Lafferty. Eric Lafferty, 6'5", 21 years old, decently fast. Comparison to Andrew Ford. Actually, let's look at Parker first. 6'6", 21 years old, about the same speed. And then Andrew Ford, 6'5", 21 years old, also about the same speed. So Lafferty probably looks the best, but he is a 2 to 3. Do I not reach for that corner? He's 2 to 3, but he can literally go in any time. He looks good. I'm taking him. Yeah, I mean, there's just no point not to. 6'3", 95 speed, hidden dev, corner 2 of the future. Move on to the next round because it would have been the corner we were worried about losing, but we already took him, so it doesn't really matter. Beatty's still here. I'm going to take Beatty. The value's there. 22 years old, 6'3", strength, good power move, good block shed, good tackle. Welcome. Yeah, of course, he was going to be normal every time. Looked way too good. He looked way too clean to actually be that good. If he was hidden dev with that, he would have been just like the easiest prospect to see ever. Although we've seen a lot of those anyways, so it's kind of like, well, what does it really matter? I don't know. Both of those tight ends are 21, but I'm still thinking, like, is it worth it? Maybe. Was Parker faster? He's 21 years old, 6'6", 270. So we have a great, solid, good 8th, 7th versus great, decent, good 15th, 6th. I think Ford's technically better. We'll see. Please be hidden. He is. All right. We might have to start him. We're going to trade in a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. This year, all draft picks were high in each. Well, actually, no. They were not all high in each round. The 4th round, I think, was, though. Either way, we traded up for an offensive lineman because the rest of the options don't look super great. So, Darryl Ball is going to be my choice. Looks great. The others look very mid at best. Please be hidden. He is. We cooked. All right, we got a bunch of, like, depth fillers, if you will, afterward. Oh, my! The corner was 80 overall. Everyone else is, not the best, but, these other picks are kind of just random, so I didn't really, show you guys any of that. But Chris Small is really good. I don't think he's going to be an actual generational, but he is really damn good, and that's all that matters. Dev, he is superstar, though. Not generational, technically, but, man, is he good. He is... Well, unfortunately for Snead, he is absolutely gone. I mean, there's no doubt we've replaced him. Beatty's not too bad. Andrew Ford, I think he's going to be a starter just based on upside alone. He looks pretty good. Has all the traits, great stamina and injury. He looks good. He looks really solid, actually. Dev, why not? Star Dev. I really want to compare him to the other two, though, because we had options. Oh, my God. 82 is the only tight end number we got. That could be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. When you pull your pants down. 75 overall for Lafferty. Hidden development trait. He looks pretty good. Let's see what they got. He is dev'd of star, so didn't really miss out there. But we did have a choice between the tight ends we took. Ford and... Who was the other guy's name? It wasn't him. It was Parker. 74 overall. Also hidden. Oh, Lord. He's definitely slower than our guy, though, which is definitely a big factor in who I would take. Also star, so, I mean, didn't really miss out. So we just won the Super Bowl and yet probably had the best draft in the entire league. Wait, Manning! He's an X factor. I don't know why I'm yelling. Relax. Let's dial it back a little bit, okay? Let's chill out. Aaron Manning is an X factor. Tyjae Spears was the projected starter this season, but now I'm wondering if it should be Manning. Okay. Yeah, that's something. That's something. Okonkwo, Ford was supposed to be the starter, but Okonkwo is 85 overall, so I'm starting the best of the best, trying to win another Super Bowl. Defensively, we got some things going on. Smalls, number 3. I mean, we've got so many corners. Should we not just trade off Presley right now? Yeah, I'm going to trade off Presley right now. But yeah, the team looks great. Presley, give me something. Give me some value back, please, sir. Draft pick is what I'm looking for mostly. We got a superstar guard offered to us, which is absolutely fair. Presley should be worth quite a bit. I'm not really seeing what I like. I would like pure draft pick value if possible. Bayless is a different running. We have all the running backs in the world. I'm going to try to find a team that will take him for an actual draft pick, like a 3rd round pick. I think he's totally worth a 3rd round pick. Oh, of course the Vikings are too broke. Almost every team's so broke, though. The salary cap isn't raising. That's why. All right, the Buccaneers, they need cornerback, kind of. Presley, superstar Dev, totally worth it. We just have so much talent. Our depth is insane. And ironically enough, wide receiver is really just our biggest position. It's the biggest positional need, but there really hasn't been options, so haven't really been able to do anything about it. But, I mean, Morales isn't bad. It's just he's not maybe the ideal number 2. We just took an unbelievable amount of losses in a row. $45 million per. I think that's fine. Can we do a little cheaper, though? A 7-year? Why not? Why not? That is crazy money. Away, he hasn't been great, but he's an X-Factor or a superstar. So why not? Oof, not going to be able to do it. $40 million left after already kind of factoring his contract in. Paris Johnson, definitely not. We can't afford it. Logan, possibly. Johnson, we'll see how good he actually is. Hooker might get another one-year deal. I don't know who this guy is or why he's superstar. Snead's already regressed. We have a replacement for him. Pollard, I'm honestly, I'm surprised we even got him. We offered a $5.5 million 1 year. Nobody else wanted him, so he joined in. We're actually not too bad in money, though. So definitely want to keep at least one of the linemen. See if Johnson's got anything going on for himself in the future. But as a 79 overall, I think we do better with just drafting someone new. Logan, I think with that price is probably worth at least a 2-year deal, 2-year 21. Oh man, that re-sign interest crap is so annoying. I have no idea who codes this game, but man, they have a great gig. I couldn't imagine making a game like this and still being around. I mean, this is something. 5-12 after winning a Super Bowl as the best roster in the league. Man, it really is something. It is something. I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, 5-12. We're totally. I understand. That happens, right? It just happens. What is this? Like, what is this losing streak? Like, what is this? We're 5-12 with a roster this good that just won a Super Bowl, by the way? Excuse me? Do I have to actually run the Chiefs? Hey, Spears cooked. Do I have to run the Chiefs playbook? The only thing that changed this offseason was the running back, and the running back outperformed the previous one. So, explain, I guess, would be the next step. Kicker wasn't great, in fairness. We'll take a quick look at the awards. But yeah, this is a season to forget, without a doubt. Just really disappointing stuff. That's really, really disappointing stuff. Bills versus the Giants in the Super Bowl. Apparently we have a little bit of money, which, I mean, I don't even need technically, but it's still cool to see, obviously, replacing, a 15, 20 mil corner, per year cornerback with somebody on a rookie deal definitely helps. As you see the Bills win the Super Bowl over the Giants. Let's take a look at what our roster looks like. Could have some regressions in there. Obviously, we're letting some of our guys go on top of it. 91 overall still is really good. I ended up paying a 1 year for Hooker, so we should be fine there. Spears is already regressing. I know he's 28 years old, but that is insane. What's his speed drop? 3 at 28. Oh my. Once again, we get it. Running backs slow down a little bit in your 28 to 30 range. But -3 speed. Oh my. Manning, welcome to the starting lineup, buddy. No dev-ups on offense. Defensively, away goes the X Factor, apparently. I don't think anyone else did, though. No, well, not to X Factor, but up in general. It was only a 2-year deal to OA. Did we even finish that contract, actually? We better have, because, yeah, I mean, the money. The money. Let's take a look. I think we did. Did we? We did. 5-year option for Morales. That's just way too much. I'd rather let him go than ever pay him anywhere near $30 million per. Some other long-time starters. Burks is gone. I suppose Johnson's been here for a little bit. Paris Johnson, the other Johnson. Snead is gone. Pollard's gone. We're losing some, kind of staples of this team, but we have better replacements, in the lineup already, and more well on their way to being those replacements as well at different positions. As we head into the 7th season off-season, free agency, once again, you get past year 4 or 5, free agency is just no longer an option. You just can't afford your players and someone new. Josh Allen's pretty sweet if you need a quarterback. Ellen Jenkins and Rank now are actually pretty good. Jamel Dean is a name we actually mentioned earlier in this rebuild, coincidentally enough. But yeah, not the strongest free agency class, and more importantly, just not a free agency class that we have money to spend in. We have pick 2 overall. We went from literally a tackle number 1 overall, okay? We literally went from the Super Bowl champions to almost the worst draft pick in the league with no real rhyme or reason. Unfortunately, doesn't seem like there's any generationals. There's a really solid-looking wide receiver. I don't know if this guy is worth taking number 2 overall, but it's kind of a need for us. We have our wide receiver 2 right now that looks like a guy that needs to get a contract soon, and Tevin Drayton looks pretty damn good, actually. I mean, do I take him? Yeah, he does look really solid. I'm going to take a look if there's anyone else, because a trade down would be cool and all, but if there's actually not anyone that I need... Ooh, actually, we could go edge. We could go edge. Also scouted McCarron more. 6'5". Ooh, he sucks. A lot of A to C's, and they turn out to be B's and C's. Put an extra B in there, and you've got yourself an interesting time. I think, you know what? I'm going to go Tevin Drayton. Number 2 overall's high. If I can move down a couple of picks and still get him, I'll do it. But if not, whatever. It's not a lot, but we're going to trade down with the Bengals. They're going to give us a second round like a couple years from now. We get a third next year, whatever. We're only moving 2 spots, and we should still get him. Maybe. And he's still there. Okay, I'm not going to risk it anymore. I think we got a little bit of a haul, and in general, still land this solid-looking wide receiver. I wish we would have knew a little more than what we do, but I think he's good enough. We're going to take a chance. Hindev, that's a good start. 93 speed, 96 jump. Looking like, I don't know, Devontae Adams, maybe, kind of. And call me crazy for going for a position I don't really need, but I'm going to go Robert Underwood here, who is in development trait, and he looks amazing. That face model, it's just always goated. Even though they look like they're in their, 50s, they're still goated. I mean, at this point, though, in the rebuild, even though we were the second pick overall, we have a lot of, luxury picks. Oh, we have a safety still there, too. Why not? A lot of luxury picks, and we're going to continue to take those and continue to hit hiddens. And we actually have, 1 billion draft picks still, so we'll see what we want to do here. Maybe O-line. That guard looks pretty good. Gordon Strong. It seems like Gordon's, fallen under ill will, and we're trying to respect my man. 85 strength. See, told you he's strong. Gordon Strong. And then with the next pick, don't really have a guaranteed need. Also, that one linebacker we took extremely late that one year was Superstar, and we just never used him. I think this guy looks the best, right? Warren Moore. He's 22, but whatever. We're taking him anyways. Hindev. All right, fair enough. I thought he would have been slower than that, too. Left side was kind of misleading. But this was another really good draft. Even though we're number 2 overall, probably didn't need this good of a draft, but we land ourselves a good draft. I'm really wondering what that wide receiver is, because I would say 77 plus overall. He had a lot of B's and A's. I mean, it was pretty impressive to see. And this is, speaking of that linebacker we talked about, kind of giving me vibes of that. Took a linebacker earlier, was hidden. Then we grabbed another one, ended up being Superstar. Not this time, though. We're going to take this wide receiver. Nah, we have so many good wide receivers already. I'm not going to do it. We're going to grab this wide receiver. Nah, we're not doing it. We're going to take a running back instead, which we don't need. And he's hidden. And I ended up going with Stinson after all, and he ended up being hidden. I mean, he's probably mid as hell. Ironically enough, the build looks like Treylon Burks. Call me crazy. If he's got athleticism, he's Treylon Burks. Those are the rules. All right, draft recap. Let's find out. Oh, wow. Is he a generational? I figured he'd be good, but not that good. 81 over. He's got to be generational. 95 spec catch, 96 jump, 85 release. He is insane. Oh, he has 47 injury. Of course he does. Is he even generational? He's got the overall for it. He's got some special ratings for it. And he has the dev for it. Okay. Yeah, we've got ourselves a guy. We have ourselves a dude. Interesting. Some of the other overalls pretty decent. A lot of these guys are kind of backups. Some of them even will be released, especially in the later rounds. But we'll look at Underwood, I suppose. Still should start him or somebody over Okonkwo because that age is definitely caught up. Star Dev would have loved to see higher than that. Might still be the starter. I don't even care. We need that Rookie of the Year. We need something going for ourselves. There's really not much to look at outside of that. We have 78 overall there. McCarron was an 84 or 74 overall. Excuse me, if he was an 84, I would have been really pissed. You know, generational wide receiver is amazing, and he'll probably be the number 2 wide receiver for us, but I don't need as much as some other positions. It is now time to move on from Okonkwo. Unfortunately, he is my boy, but we have so many tight ends, and he is on a contract year, so it is time to go. We've got all the tight ends in the world. We don't need any more. All right, last season was weird, you know, number 2 overall pick after winning a Super Bowl, but the team is back and not really stronger than ever, but the potential is higher than ever. We're back to that word potential. Hooker, we kind of have a replacement for. Not really, sort of. I don't even see what Walker's dev was, but probably the starter going forward, but we'll see what happens there. Washington hasn't really developed super well yet, but he's still pretty young, 25 years old. And then obviously you have the cornerback 2 who looks really good in Schmal, who'll end up being the number 1 corner within a year or two for sure. Simmons will need to be replaced, but overall the team's in a decent spot. 38 mil, Manning, yes, especially since the price is so cheap. Morales, probably. Washington, I would say so. Cisco, I don't think we can even afford him, even if we wanted to. Zimmerman, maybe. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but I think we can all make it. Another ass season from the ass game. We're going to be going 8-9. We're one of the best teams in the league, maybe the best team in the league, and yet we cannot win, make the playoffs even since our Super Bowl win. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but this is the product. Tight end might even go to an X Factor because he could win Rookie of the Year, and then obviously his season itself gets him to X Factor. Manning 12 sacks away, which, I mean, these edge rushers have done nothing because it's a 3-4. The kicker's been ass. Man, I mean, this year's rebuilds, I don't know what it is, but they have pissed me off more than any other year. Like, am I the only one? Rookie of the Year is like we talked about, but am I really the only one? Like, they've really pissed me off this year for some reason. Like, I just feel like it's more random than ever, right? I don't know. As the Panthers and the Jaguars are in the Super Bowl, with a result favoring the Panthers, we are now negative in money, even though we, kept about $6 million and willing to let a lot of other guys go. Harbor goes to X Factor. Underwood does not, but we will take any dev up we can get. That is amazing. He's really solid looking now. Defensively, I don't think any dev ups. It looks different, but I don't think it is. Can't wait to see how broke we are. This is usually where we're at in this point of a 10-year rebuild. I would love to just have like 30 mil. 30 mil. 30 mil, we're chilling. Negative 700K. Okay, sure. Negative 700K, despite the fact that Cisco and Zimmerman and all these guys are going, unfortunately. That's really, really fun. Yikes. Able to keep Morales, at least. Hopefully there's no other big names going forward. There we go, 18 mil. So, I mean, at least we're able to, get free agents. And Joe Burrow's a free agent, speaking of. Pruitt is an X Factor. Mahomes is a free agent. Watt's a free agent. Makes sense in fairness because he's on the older side. But there are some name drops. We will need a new starting free safety and a strong safety. We've pulled a Buffalo Bills / Seattle Seahawks, but I think we can maneuver. We already got one guy that's hidden. I don't know what that dev ended up being, and then Wesley could start, but he needs a contract next year anyway, so why even entertain it? Get someone new. Oh, he happened to be an X Factor. That's pretty cool. That is pretty neat. Interesting. Well, we don't need that position solved. I was honestly thinking that realistically we probably would need to replace that spot. He was hidden or whatever, but no, we don't need to. So we could even argue just Wesley starts anyways, but we'll look at safety, we'll see, but we don't need two at least. We have pick 11. I'm not even sure what we wanted safety. That was our main scouting focus as well. I didn't really look at some of the other positions because I completely forgot where we even were, but Delvin Wall looks really good. He's got a bunch of Bs across the board. None of the safeties were particularly super fast. I think we're going to move down to like 20, 22 range, whatever it takes to land ourselves the safety, but also land some good trade value. 22, boom, there you go. Bears made the trade. I'm not going to argue it. Whatever we get, as much as, that Wall guy looks really good, I am willing to just take whoever's there. There's plenty of safeties, even some corners in there that look like they could play safety if it need be. But Delvin Wall is still there. He's 22 years old, which is like, why would I want a 22-year-old? But I think he's the guy. Delvin Wall is going to be my choice. Please be hidden. Nice. The strongest looking player of the bunch was normal, obviously. And Blake was one of the corners that could have played safety. Maybe I sold by not just slowing things down a little bit. We also have Emmett Key. Do we maybe make that play? We have a couple of D linemen. Obviously at some point soon, Simmons is going to need to be replaced. Do we do that now? Do we have other options DT-wise? Third round, we have a couple of A finessers in there. So we're going to go and double down at the safety position. I don't really like Key as much as the other guy, but watch this. Will be the hidden. Or I'll draft two normals. Yes, why not? Whatever happens, happens. What about the D-line? I don't really like any of these guys particularly, but McRae looks the best. Actually, we're going to go Widener. Carl Widener. Hidden dev definitely sounds very, very naughty, but we'll take it. Pick 11 in the third round, hoping one of those DTs is there. Really just, once again, drafting for excess, not actually like someone you need. McRae is still there. 22, 6'5", fast, not the strongest, but fast and strong enough. Hidden dev, 84 strength. And just like that, it's round 4, and my day 3s are all gone. Who's this guy? Why not? Kenny Fleming? Oh, it's because he's 23. That's why not. All right, obviously hoping for some decent overalls. We ended up with a hidden dev fullback, but nothing spectacular outside of that. Yeah, I mean, the safeties were pretty good overall. 75, 76. The DT, he was hidden, right? Yeah, he was hidden. So, I mean, we landed some decent players. Just, unfortunately, the safety was biggest positional need. Unfortunately, was, both of them were normal. Start out for the DT. Center doesn't really matter too much right now. Wall and Key, I don't know. 76 zone. Looks more balanced across the board. But what is Key's ratings? 21. He's also younger. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Wall, even though he's a year older. I mean, it's just not even close. And then most of these guys are going to be let go, to be honest. Here we are for Season 8. Things have just gone really badly. I don't know why. We are a very solid-looking team. Obviously, some of our skill positions need to develop a little bit longer, but quarterback's amazing, wide receiver 1's amazing, running back's not too bad. I mean, there's a lot of X factors. Defensively, the edge hasn't been great, but they are good. D-line is good. I mean, this is a good team. The only bad thing right now of our team is the safeties, but it's two positions. I mean, what do you want me to be godly at everything? I don't know how I feel about 67 million. Manning is at a pretty good overall for his age, so we will re-sign him. Hood, the contract's not bad, so I might have to re-sign him. Snead, he's a number 3 corner. I don't know. French, I don't like the overall with the age. Sweat's definitely gone. Logan's probably gone. Away is definitely gone, I would say. And Simmons is probably gone. So we're actually, losing some players, but salary-wise, we're not that bad. I mean, we're fine. We'll be able to manage. Headed to the playoffs, and like I said in the past, I feel like the Chiefs scheme needs like a season to really cook up for the next season. As I did not think we would get the bye week, but we were 12-5, and now with a bye week, a first-round bye, which is awesome. We had a really good start. Not the best finish with 3 straight losses, 4 out of the last 5 in fairness, but still got the bye week, still the playoff season, and we're still happy. Looking at the numbers, Cousins, pretty good stuff, maybe even MVP. Manning, worse year, which is really weird, but Harper was amazing. Underwood was pretty good. Morales was, we don't talk about the rest. Okay, it's the Chiefs scheme. It's weird. O-line tackles are terrible, as they always are. Defensively, Scorton, finally. Is this a dev up? I just punched the mic because I'm so excited. Finally a dev up, potentially. Any other players? Nothing really. Defense is still weird. The defense is still weird. MVP does go to Cousins. There you go. And Harper's an offensive player of the year. Defense rookie of the year, quarterback of the year, running back at 6, wide receiver at 1, O-line no, D-line no, but on the list, Scorton number 1. We were number 1. We actually got a bunch of awards and a bunch of dev-ups coming our way, it seems. And a divisional shot for free. Technically not for free, but we're here. 93 overall to the 90 overall Miami Dolphins. Let's get it. We already won 1 Super Bowl. Can we finish out strong? The final 3. Win 3 straight Super Bowls? That'd be kind of something. 10-7. 13-7. 21-7. Nice little start. Up by 7. Looks like it could go away, and it will with a touchdown. A huge drive last second, and they will not take this to overtime. We will be headed to the championship round. Cousins was good enough. Arch Manning. Good old Archie. What else do we have? Running, and a lot of Mannings. It's a lot of Mannings around here. Harbor, 2 touchdowns, 223 yards. Sacks, nothing going for us. Wesley with a pick, who's actually a backup safety. Is it going to be the Chiefs? I don't even know if they have Mahomes anymore. He was a free agent. I don't know if they got him back. It is the Browns, and also a dev-up chance. This could be really clutch. Wall already has a dev-up coming because of Rookie of the Year, but if he gets this, he might just sneak his way into Superstar literally like a week before it was going to happen. Before he's going to get to star, maybe Superstar on his own, but this could be a clutch dev-up and a chance at the Super Bowl. All right. Dev-ups and Super Bowl berths are all at risk here. All on the line. And man, maybe not a whole lot on risk, as at halftime it is 21-0. Defense is playing its part. Offense hasn't really scored since. But we will win this game with ease. 24-8. I would have loved to see a little bit better of a finish. Jordan Love is apparently a Cleveland Brown now. Cousins was great again. Manning, not so great. Underwood's been pretty damn good for us. Scorton. Hopefully his name is Scorton. It's not like Squarton. That's literally the same thing. I just said the same thing twice. I almost in the Super Bowl. That would have been really fun. The Vikings, who have actually won a Super Bowl in this rebuild as well. Offense, I don't think we expected any dev-ups, right? Maybe Underwood, perhaps. Squarton did go up a dev. Walker was already at that dev. Wall didn't get the breakout, but still goes to star this week. And then Manning, I believe, is now an X Factor, which is pretty good timing. We just paid him a pretty big contract, so let us continue to cook. Going to lose some players in this offseason, but this is still a very, very good team nonetheless, with or without those players. And obviously, as we are not there yet, we're in a really good spot. I want to see Eric Cousins' ratings. I wonder if that speed went up at all. 4 to deep accuracy. Speed didn't go up at all. I think Excel and Agility did, though. And outside of play action and, I guess, deep accuracy, especially before this +4 we just got, really good. 97 throw power. I mean, it's very Michael Vick-light. Let's be honest. Michael Vick. Going to the end of the game. Can we win a second Super Bowl? Starting off pretty strong, 7-0. 14-0, really strong. We hold up to 3 right before half. They will not score. It is 21-3, 28-3. And despite their efforts, I think we have won ourselves a second Super Bowl. And we have. Cousins and company have won themselves a second Super Bowl. And there's still 2 more seasons left to go. The team, really bad the last 2 seasons. And then out of nowhere, back on top of the world. Winning another Super Bowl. Obviously, we've seen the celebrations. Let's go on to the stat line now. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Manning finally played well. Singleton wasn't even that good. He just had a 70-yard run. Harbor was great. Underwood does what he does. Sacks, pretty limited, as usual. Kicking was clean. Another dub. And once again, I almost forgot, but let's show you the results. Boom. Oh, yeah, we didn't even have a wild card round. Last 2 seasons coming up. Can we win 4? That would beat the, was it the Giants or the Bears? I think it was the Giants rebuild we did. Can't remember how many we had there, 2 or 3, I think. It would beat it. See if we can do it. All right, before we go into re-signings or lack thereof, let's take a look at the retirements. Jared Goff and a couple of other, once upon a time, decent players. Now move on to re-signings. For some reason, the center, I literally offered him 10% more than he was asking for in the same years, and he just wouldn't take it. We'll see if he wants to work something out. Small, that might actually be around fair, but I still think it's probably worth waiting. 15 mil, it's probably what we had to pay anyway, so let's do the 15 mil. Sweat will be replaced. Away needs to be replaced. Wesley, clutch pick, but needs to be replaced. I mean, Spears is pretty self-explanatory. And I would do a 1 year 14.5, and Simmons does. 7.7 mil, not a whole lot of money left, and we still need to replace edge, nose tackle, and I don't even know if I have money for corner. All right, we're in the draft. We need edge rusher. We have a couple of them there. 2 1-2s. One that I like more than the others. Speaking of Moore and Whitfield, those are the 2 guys I had pretty high up there. Dodson was on my list too, but those were all expected to go early, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, the guy we're going for, I'm not a huge fan of his speed or lack thereof, but we are going to try and make the trade up anyways because we have no starter on the opposite side of Squarton, so we really have no choice. Bunch of 4th-round picks from last year's trade downs. Man, the Seahawks are a bit stingy, but if we can get the trade down, which we can, we're chilling. I mean, it worked out with Squarton technically, but I would definitely be disappointed if this guy was normal dev, because he doesn't have as much to work with. He is 6'5", 263, not the fastest at all, but he has an A to B power move, an A play rec, a B block shed, an A awareness, B tackle, A pursuit. There wasn't a whole lot of options. This is our guy. And he's hidden, thank you. Okay, a little bit faster than I even thought, actually, to be fair, but I was really thinking normal dev. Those guys that aren't that fast, they usually have really high ratings, just normal dev, and it's like, is it worth the trade-off? I don't know. But this time we actually luck out, which I'm all right with. Of course, also a very weak draft class across the board. Kind of needed-ish DT, especially for the future. Justin Smith, he's got the name to go with it, but I think I'm going to go with that left end. Elite speed is definitely not wrong. Definitely not wrong. Strength, maybe I do want Smith more, actually. I'm going to go Justin Smith, 6'2", 22 years old. Eee. It's late second. We're kind of down on numbers. Eddie Stewart is a massive player to be off-ball, which he definitely is. I'm going to take him. Eddie Stewart, hidden dev, future-proofing again. Random day 3, 6'4" corner. Why not? Hidden Dev. I mean, I'm not going to get too excited about it. He's 23. He's going to be a lower overall. He's a 6-rounder. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to get too excited. All right, really hoping that this edge rusher is good. 75 overall is not bad. DT, we got to compare to the other guys. Stewart, fair enough. Wide receiver, I don't even remember taking this guy. I must have accidentally simmed the pick. He's in dev, I suppose. 72 overall, a hidden dev. Short, who's 6'4", ironically enough. Very good press man corner. I got to be honest, this is superstar. This is definitely superstar. Yeah, I mean, I would have been willing to bet something. I don't know what, but something could have been bet. Really good power move. Like I talked about, these guys are usually normal dev with really good ratings. He just happened to be hidden dev. Probably going to be star, but you never know. This guy kind of feels special. In a good way, of course. Dev and superstar. Yeah, I mean, he was very good. That was worth the pick, without a doubt. I don't even know what number to put him at. 90s? We don't have... Oh, we do have 99. Why not? Was the guy's name Creighton? No, it couldn't have been. Creighton was one of the other guys I had, though, which, fair enough, he was good, but the guy we were talking about is definitely bigger. It was definitely Dickerson, 100%. Also normal, in fairness, so I can't complain. It is now Season 9, which means one more draft, 2 more seasons. Don't know if we're going to see many regressions soon, so we'll take a quick look again at Cousins, who is very good at everything but deep accuracy and, weirdly enough, play action, which a guy as fast as him you would think would be goated at that. Not going to complain, though, because his weaknesses are very small weaknesses. Harbor, 27 years old. 97 speed. He's very good except for release. Everything else, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then I guess, don't really care too much about Drayton yet. He's still really young. Any other regressions? Obviously, Simmons is going to regress soon, but not quite. Manning will probably regress soon, and Gray might regress soon. So we'll take a look at those guys. Oh, Manning's a lot younger than I thought. I thought he was like 27, 28 by now. Nope, 26. Fair enough. But Gray should definitely be older. 27, 28. 29. Okay, mix those two ages together. Very good coverage. Unbelievable. 88 man, 89 zone. He could play corner. Kind of ish. A little bit slow, but slot corner. Solid player. He'll be fine for the rest of this rebuild, seems. All right, are we about to go broke? Small, obviously you keep. We'll see Latham, but I highly doubt it. That is expensive. Doug didn't want to rejoin us last time, but I might still keep him. Ball, he's probably gone. Bost is gone. Ford is gone. He's a backup. We do have some money, I will say, so I don't want to spend it all on O-line when I have a wide receiver coming up as well, but we at least aren't up against it, so we do have options. But yeah, Small was obviously always going to get a contract, so 7-year 98 ain't small. 53 mil, I think you keep Logan, but man, Latham, he has played so badly ever since he started here, and he wants 20-some mil per. Where do you see it? Because I don't. We're in the wild card round. No bye week, but it is still the playoffs, and that's really all that matters. Eric Cousins, ooh, MVP season. Very well could be. Manning, he must hit that threshold, as he is really good. This season was amazing for him. 19 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry on 1,300 yards. I mean, that's like almost a whole yard more than Pollard had like every season for us. Drayton was great. Underwood was great. Harbor was great. Morales was even pretty good. Blocking, I mean, the best season we've seen, like, ever. Latham, of course, needs a contract. He was amazing this season. I hate this game. Manning and Scorton were decent. They're okay, but the rest kind of lackluster. Picks were terrible. Thomas was terrible. Stonehouse definitely slowed down, but he's still him. Awards, number 1 offensive yardage. Number 2 for MVP. What a scam. Cody was the defensive rookie of the year, which is great for Ed Deva. And we are headed on against the Chargers in the wild card round to potentially win back-to-back. And here we go, 7-0. Chargers with the lead. We tie it up. Looking good for a score. It is 14-7 right before half. Ooh, we almost did something special there, but we didn't. 14-10. It's a close game. Defense keeping us in it as our offense is trying to sell. And wow, what a performance by the defense to completely, I mean, basically shut down the Chargers, right? I mean, Cousins was awful. Awful. Run games, both sides weren't the best. I guess Manning was pretty good. Wan'Dale Robinson, those numbers are very surprising for him at this point. I would expect him to be like a 7 overall. I can't believe how bad we were, but yet still we're able to win. To the divisional round. What do we got for ourselves? The Bills. Wow, they're 86 overall. They are not the best, so I feel good about our chances. Somehow we're all the way up to a 94. A little bit of a dreary one, but hopefully it's only on their parade. 7 all into the second quarter. It is now a 14-7 lead. The Bills have kind of had our number a little bit lately. 21-14. Nice drive. Tied up. Don't like to see that field goal. This is not looking good, but we are going to get one more chance at it, at least. And, man, a lot of short plays, it seems. Really good punt down to the 4. We do get the stop because of the field position. And we're going to get the touchdown, leading by 4 now. The Bills driving down with kind of the walk-off. Huge chance to at least get the field goal from the 6-yard line. You got to kick this field goal, right? I'm coming in just to make sure they actually do, because otherwise the clock could just go. And they aren't even going to try to ice us. Tied up. It'll be headed to overtime. I got to say, the team felt pretty damn confident there, though, I got to say. And I am not confident from the 32-yard line, and that likely will be it. And it will. I mean, they're going to walk off. They actually scored the touchdown, I'm pretty damn sure. That is pitiful. That is disgustingly bad. Their quarterback was much better than ours, though. That's really where it stems from. Rushing was okay, but their quarterback outplayed ours, and that's usually how it goes. Anyways, on to the final offseason. Heading on to the final year. 2 Super Bowls have been won. Can we win a third? Bird Battle Super Bowl, Ravens versus the Falcons. And the Falcons will win it. We have 25 mil. We don't really need that 25 mil, though. DevOps offensively, Underwood joins the X Factor squad, which is a pretty large squad, I will admit. Defensively, Cody obviously went up in Dev. But that was pretty much it. I don't think there was really many players that could have went up in Dev anyways. But Mr. Cody already 87 power move. Could go even higher with these 2 upgrade points that we have. What a year. What a year. Actually, Cody already was Superstar, wasn't he? Yeah, what am I even thinking about? I forgot we drafted him as a Superstar. All right, let's take a look at those re-signings. 5th-year option. It might save us in the long run. I don't know. Latham, I know he had his best year yet, but it would literally bankrupt us. And ultimately, before this latest season, he has been pretty bad all the way through. Simmons, you could do 1 more year, but I just don't see the value, man. And then Stonehouse has been the GOAT, so we're going to go with a 2-year for him. No point in looking at free agency. Meh. I say that, but it's final year. I mean, derailing the team a little bit to try and get that last Super Bowl ring might be worth it. We have 22 million if there's a DT. We may make that play. There kind of is with Derek Brown. That's a 1-year deal, and we can't even afford that anyways. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Personally, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Sweat's back. Do you maybe bring Sweat back in? Let's do a 1-year 10 on Sweat. See if anyone else is going to go for him. If not, I will be sitting pretty. 1 less player to worry about. Actually, I want to compare him to Simmons, because Simmons actually has no offers either, which means that we can kind of get either one for the same price. 83, 81, 84 versus Sweat, who is not in sight. Really good block shot. Yeah, he's much better, I think. Simmons is a jack of all trades. Sweat is really good at run defense. And we do get him a 1-year 10, kind of a steal as well. The starting of the draft has commenced. Pick 26 is what we have. DT sort of is the biggest need. Not for this specific season, but going forward down the line. Do we have any 1-2s besides it's just the DT McKinney, who's 22 years old, 6'4". I like the weight. I like the strength, but I feel like Jason Harris is probably a guy we need more anyways. He's more hybrid-y, putting him on the inside. I mean, obviously playing on the inside anyways, but either nose tackle or not. We have other couple of guys like, maybe Bradford's more of a pure nose tackle type. Could also debatably argue, getting both of them. I think I'm going to trade a 10 in the second round. Trade up from 26 in the second round. Land the D-end and the guard. And call it a draft almost. Because, we'd have 26 in the third round. We can't really get much from there. But I think that'd be fine. Kind of getting what we're asking for. We get 74, actually, from the third round from the Browns. Browns giving us a nice trade here. What are they going to get? There you go, QB. They could have easily offered us more because they went for QB, but we're going to go with the Steelers after this pick, I think, as, the DTs are still there. I still think Harris is better, But I think as far as O-linemen go, this draft, Spear looks the best. So I'm going to go with Spear, and I'm just going to sim until we're down to just one of those two DT types remaining, which we didn't have to wait too long. The Texans, that we might lose our player. That's fine, though. It's interdivisional. We're a really good team. Maybe they wouldn't want to make that trade. I almost gave up a third round this year to move that play, but I mean, to be fair, we're only moving up 11 spots, so I'm glad I backed out of it last second. Could still land another lineman maybe, or a linebacker. But as of right now, Jason Harris is without a doubt the choice. I was almost going to take him in the late first. He looks really good, and that's the reason why I didn't do it, because I had a really good feeling he was going to be normal, but still, really good player, good depth, why not? And our options have definitely dwindled a little bit here in the third. I think we're going to go Donnelly, and then we're going to trade up for Webb. Webb looks really good. Donnelly, hidden dev, O-line has been really easy to draft hidden this year. It's going to go to the Steelers now. Grab the linebacker. We have obviously a lot of draft capital still, so why not? Get a trade in. Might have even over-traded. I don't care. I just wanted to trade pretty badly to grab that linebacker Webb. Then the rest, we donate to charity. But Mr. Billy Webb, 21 years old, insanely fast, although the left side said he wasn't, and it is proof that he isn't, but hidden dev anyways. Don't think we drafted a single player that'll start this season, but we'll take a gander anyway, see what we have a brewing up. And 73, 74, 72, 74. Not the worst, definitely not the best, but still a good player. Group, if you don't say so myself. Not you, I don't say so myself. Very good block shedding, though, from Harris. Definitely fits that nose tackle role without a doubt. Still curious to see the DT we could have had. Once again, I wasn't going to make that choice. I let them do it. He is hidden. McKinney, very raw outside of the power move. Good strength, though. What about the dev? Start up. I mean, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Here is the squad for the final year. Look at this offense. The skill positions are crazy. The offensive line has obviously shifted around a little bit, but our interior is amazing. We've got really good interior linemen. Defensively, the defensive line definitely takes a little bit of a hit, but Sweat is back, even if Simmons is not. Corners are damn good, and then safeties are definitely getting there. They're slowly getting there. Linebackers are great. Cody had a great year, and we are trying to win number 3. All right, 78 mil. Drayton, yes. Underwood, yes. Tracy, obviously. Cedric, no, he's too costly, unfortunately. Strong, maybe. Scorton, I kind of have to. Actually, I don't know if you can. Definitely a 1 or a 2. Definitely not the 4-year. And the rest are all, solid backups, but backups for the most part. Obviously, Sweat isn't, but he'll be regressed too hard to want to keep anyways. And the final year delivers. 15-2. We get the bye week. We have the divisional round automatically set. Looking at the season, I actually didn't pay attention to it too much. First loss was in week 11 against the Patriots. Then to the Ravens, the only 2 losses of the entire season. Very, very solid year. Not going to go out like chumps. Obviously, we could lose the divisional round by a really bad manner, but still, at least making the playoffs, at least getting that bye week, at least potentially winning MVP. Manny was great again. Obviously, Cousins was as well. Wide receivers, Drayton was a little bit less than normal. Less good as normal. Rest were pretty good, though. Blocking, center was great, but it's a center. O-line, tackles weren't the best. Sack totals all over the place, man. Scorton with 6.5, Cody with 5. I mean, it's just, I hate 3-4 defenses for numbers. Hey, look at Dicker, 100%, and I missed Stonehouse again. Speaking of, again, missing MVP again. Number 2 for Cousins. Manny with Offensive Player of the Year. A little surprised by that. And best running back of the year. Best O-line does go to the center. Actually, he does go up in dev. We gave him a 2-year deal. And Dicker gets a dev up. So, impressive. The Jets, they're 9-8. We have 5 overalls higher than them. Let us cook. Give us the win. Winner goes to the championship round. If we finish out with a Super Bowl, that would be really clutch. At least make it to a Super Bowl. That'd be, I think, a pretty climactic ending. 14-7, 17-7. Not our best performance, but defense is doing what it does. Although they're close. It's only a 3-point game. Offense finally wakes up, and we will hold on. Not our best performance, but we win. Defense holds on. Offense scores when they needed to. Cousins were pretty good. Manny was pretty good. Defensively, anybody do anything? Gray and Manning was pretty good. Don't know how Gray got all those sacks, but sure. Dicker, perfect in the regular season, misses 2 out of 3 in the playoffs. Unacceptable. The Chargers, we have 6 overalls on them. Even better than the Jets team. End of the game. How will we fare? They get the lead. We usually do give up the lead pretty early, though. 7-7. 10-7. Ooh, huge touchdown before half. It is not looking great. It's 4-point deficit. We're still in it. Up by 3. Looking good. I mean, we're driving. If we get a touchdown, it's over. It's over. We've won, and we're headed back to the Super Bowl. What an ending. Being even better if we win it. Mike Cheeks was technically better than Cousins, kind of. Rushing Manning was better. Our run defense has been really good, though. I've noticed that for sure. Scoring with 2 sacks. Nice. Pick for Will Johnson. Pick for Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray has been great, by the way. Don't feel like we've said it enough. Basically a cornerback playing linebacker. That means very like a slightly more athletic Fred Warner. It's the Super Bowl. Who is it going to be against? The Falcons. They just won, actually, I believe, last season against the Ravens, didn't they? I know they were in one recently with them. I can't remember if they actually won. I'm pretty sure it was them that won, though. 5 overalls higher than them. What are those dev-ups besides the center? Logan obviously goes to superstar. Was the fullback always a superstar? I don't even know. Defensively, Cody goes to X Factor. I don't know what is allowing these like mid-seasons to result in dev-ups, but I guess we'll take them, I suppose. Can we win a 3rd Super Bowl? Pretty good start. Looks like we're making some defensive stops, although they take the lead 7-3. We get the ball right back, though, it seems. And, wow, what a weird one. 6-7 at halftime. I don't really like the way this offense is playing right now. What is actually going with this offense? This offense is terrible. Running the ball more than anything. It's an 8-point deficit. And we're going to lose the game in, like, the worst fashion I've ever seen. Is the clock moving? Is the clock moving? It's moving. We've lost. Wow. I mean, just an otherworldly crap offensive performance. I am disgusted. The final season in the Super Bowl, and we put up 13 points. 13. Of course, Joe Burrow being here is just utterly stupid, but I guess it's really late into his career, so you never know. Cousins, I mean, he just wasn't good. He simply wasn't good. Manning had his worst game of the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Receiving was, I mean, okay for some guys. Pass rush, non-existent. Jeromepkr. We missed 2 field goals. Nice. I mean, what the hell is wrong with this dude? How does he hit perfectly in the regular season and misses like 5+ kicks in the playoffs? Well, let's take a look at the team before we head out. All right, we are going to be looking at the team. First, got to do one small thing, and there you go. Let's take a look at the squad, see how they developed, and move on from there. I mean, it was still pretty successful. 2 Super Bowl wins is nothing to be ashamed of, but I still feel like we could have done more. I feel like we were a 4 Super Bowl team. Harbor, I don't know if it's because he maxed out playmaker and slot, but release finally started to develop a little bit. 83 release. Look at his ratings. I mean, that's like a golden ticket level like ratings player. I mean, 99 juke. I mean, he's insane. He's ridiculously insane. Drayton, obviously, that injury is going to be terrible. He started at 47, so I'm wondering if he got any higher than that. No injury upgrades. So, bad injury, you're just screwed. Deep route's not great, but everything else, it is. It's really amazing. Wide receiver 3. Could have been a wide receiver 1 or 2 on most teams. Unbelievable, this trio of receivers. Not the best short route guy, but, where one guy is bad, the other guy replaces the other one, it seems. Then we look at Underwood, who is a 25-year-old, 93 overall. The route running's crazy. Speed never went up, I don't think, but catching's through the roof as well. He will not drop a pass. He just physically can't. O-line, I guess we'll look at Skaronski. Didn't get to see Latham because, he's gone, but look at Skaronski, real-life rookie. Why not? Or not, well, maybe he was a real-life rookie. Manning, the 96 overall, who had a pretty bad final game there. He's, really good at trucking. Break tackle's great. Speedy for a guy his size. Cousins maxed out. Got his deep accuracy up to 90. That's formidable. Play action kind of sucks, but overall, he's good. He's a good player. That's really all we need is a good player, and he was that. Defensively, Walker, 85 overall X Factor, 25 years old. Really good zone coverage, decently fast. Really caught me off guard, seeing that he was a superstar X Factor. Sitting as a backup, just waiting to go. Wall, he started off as kind of somewhat hybrid. Ends up as definitely a better zone guy than man, but still some ways to go. French, the backup. He was that hidden, third string middle linebacker, the second rookie of the class I talked about that ended up becoming a superstar. His dev was superstar. Cedric Gray, unbelievable. I mean, look at the coverage. He's got 93 zone coverage. Tackling's great. Block shed's, not the best, but it's pretty damn smart. Look at that awareness. What else do we have for defense? Obviously, we have some corners. Chris Small with 94 overall. Very good press man. I mean, really, really good press man corner. 6'3" on top of it. Definitely not a guy you're going to beat in man often or really ever. Bart Washington, another same guy. Press isn't as good, but another really, a tall, fast, really good man corner. Number 3, Schneed. I don't really care about those guys too much. Sweat, probably not even a point to look, but why not? 92 block sheds, strength is up there. And then for the final guy, I suppose, is going to be Mr. Andrew Manning, 27-year-old X Factor. Decent power move, amazing block shed, super strong, athletic. Play action's great, awareness is great, pursuit's great. I mean, he is really good. He's a really good player. I would have expected even more statistically from him, but his ratings are up there, and that's really all that matters. Getting that overall up higher, give you a better chance to win. I guess we'll take a look at Ryan Stonehouse while we're here. 99 kick power, 98 accuracy still. The GOAT. Regardless of, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. These take a long time to record, export, render, edit, all that good stuff. And if you're not new, I do appreciate the support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. Should have a TCM video, a new one up tomorrow. We had one yesterday, but another one tomorrow. And let me know what team you want to see next. 10-year rebuild. We'll keep doing these maybe up until Madden 25 actually officially releases. I'm still debating on what I want to do with the franchise for Bisons. I know some of you guys still enjoy it, but I mean, obviously the interest has slowly dwindled, especially as we're like really into the dead months of Madden. And it's like just about to be the next games, especially with College Football 25 coming out. So there is a chance that maybe the Bisons franchise ends with this season and we just do rebuilds in between until the next game comes out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to say one more thing and I completely forgot. Oh yeah, what team would you like to see next? I don't know if I mentioned that already, but that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,